Y'all already know. Y'all nigga back with the same fit as yesterday. You feel me? Same exact fit. Set the socks. Got Snorlax socks on today. Got the Snorlax socks on today. You know. Snorlax bitches. You feel me? Real nigga incorporated. So yeah. Oh, my fault. Yeah, real nigga incorporated. Stupid ass. But I know what I just came back from doing, so I'm gonna just let y'all know. I just came back from seeing Final. So yeah. 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 Mm. 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 We lit in this bitch though, y'all. We lit in this bitch though. Hey, turn up. Thanks for watching Fortnite on Twitch. Thanks for watching Fortnite on Down My QB. Hey, Megan, yeah, she gonna yeah, they good. Trust on that. Yeah, I'm on that. I be smoking crack in the fucking hallway. I can do this shit all day. The thing is, though, that just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real. Welcome to Ms. Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the most memorable performances, speeches, and tributes from the BET Awards' remarkable 25-year history. Yeah. Welcome back to you. I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to watch. Why they do this shit now? Is it from their house? This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Man, when was the last time you...
I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to watch. Don't know what to watch. Don't know what to watch. Don't know what to know. I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to watch now. I really don't know what to watch now. It's 5:56.
I mean, this is still a fuck.
This is not a blue moon. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. A Valencia orange makes a blue moon, and everything a little brighter.
Hey, got the motherfucking shit.
See, the truth is, y'all ain't supposed to be here. As in, y'all not even supposed to be born. Now, that, boy, this is good for them, because that says, you know, some people, they were just late. Yeah. Your ass is not even supposed to be on the planet. Oh, I got something. Y'all get it worse. Y'all gonna get it worse. Oh, y'all gonna get it good. Everyone, tickets are finally on sale for the Double Toasted 11th year anniversary party, July 18th to the 20th. Get your tickets by going to Double Toasted 11th year anniversary party at my show coming up in New York. A night of sit-down comedy back at the... That's going to be June 27th. That's a Friday, 9:30 p.m. Get your tickets by going to doubletoastedny.com. Let's go ahead. Just saw my... Well, I was going to say my first Final Destination movie for the first time this past week. That is not true. I saw the first Final Destination movie for the first time this past weekend.
Do you remember what your first one was?
Yeah, I think it was either 2 or 3. I didn't see the worst one, which is 4. But enjoyed it, liked it. So that's why, you know, I was looking at this Final Destination 6, Bloodlines, and I was thinking, oh, where, we had something that was very novel, very good, you know, nice concept right there. Y'all running it into the ground, like people do. You know, people run out of gas at number 3. Y'all went twice as far.
Yeah.
We run on fumes with this, but you never know. You never know. How do I feel about this? Well, I'll tell you how I feel about this, first of all. I might be late catching up to some of these Final Destination movies, but at least I saw a couple of them. Boy, this youngster over here, he ain't seen none of them. So let me tell you what he said tonight.
Okay.
I'm riding in the car with him. He's like, man, Final Destination, man, you're ripping off that monkey, man. Oh, I didn't say it like that. Man, Final Destination trying to be like that monkey.
That's you, fat. I should calm down. Wait.
Yeah, man, why they copying Stevie Key, man, that money?
I didn't say it like that. You should have went like this. No, I knew monkey got expression about this.
I know what you said. Just like that monkey. No.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it reminded me of the monkey.
I said,
I saw the monkey before I saw the
I said, boy, these youngsters out here, man.
Hi. Mosquito stacks. Stupid ass. Just because I'm on the floor doesn't mean I can't get full of that dope.
I wouldn't even say it was infamous. I said
and bro, they got a new fucking pre-roll pack shit. So it's basically like the same pack, but they put like an outer layer over it for some stupid reason. I guess they're trying to be like the fucking the vapes. You gotta push the sides to bring that bitch up, and that bitch won't even come all the way out. It just comes like this.
So yeah, folks, we are back.
Like
hanging out with death again. You know, we got more people thinking they can get by on old grill. he ain't gonna get me.
Well, I had to try.
Well, I got plenty of time for you, sure.
I was going to take it easy. But you want to be funny, huh, bro?
Shit, I wish Death would come up in here.
got that quicksand again, cause that's like the only 8 that they had that I really wanted to get.
Yeah, man.
Had to get some Tahitian lime because it's been so long since I had Tahitian lime.
And Stephanie keeps having these nightmares about people dying horribly in this towering
And apple and banana bread.
And she soon learns that.
So I really got Lilac Diesel again, and I got some shit called Side by Side. That's the other one that was already open. So before we even get into them, we gonna finish the rest of what we got here, which is Run It and Quicksand.
Your ass is not even supposed to be on the planet.
I got some worse.
Y'all gonna get it worse. Oh, y'all gonna get it good.
You said y'all ain't never seen before.
Yeah. As usual, since Death feels like you cheated him, he takes that. Look, and celebrate too. He takes that as an insult. And so when Death arrives, well, let's just say it ain't gonna be nice. Go ahead and celebrate while you can.
Yeah, that's an attitude.
I mean, you go, listen, if you don't schedule, you ain't messing with his plan. It's cool.
I mean, his first plan is not to treat you nice to begin with.
No.
But he got to go to plan B. Oh, man, it's going to be bad.
Well, sometimes he'll catch you. Sometimes people say, you know what, man, I'm ready to come. I got you. You trying to buy a little extra time? You trying to get by on him? No. So you want to go? You want to go play games, huh? Yeah. But tell you what, ain't gonna be no nice boy out there. You gonna leave a nice impression.
Yeah. All they're gonna talk about is that freak accident.
Freaky about it, man. It's all on me. Let's go ahead and get to this trailer. The Final Destination, Bloodlines.
This book, it will show you everything you need to know to keep our family safe.
With this movie, I think one of the problems with these films, when they're at their worst, is that they try too hard to top each other. They always have a great opening scene, and then, of course, the dead set pieces. They always got to be bigger, crazier, gorier, and so that's a problem when you're trying to, be better than the last one. Be bigger than that, and succeeds. In my opinion, I was like, I'll be damned. Y'all pulled it off. You know what? The director's gonna die.
These movies aren't supposed to be good.
This movie was not supposed to be that good. You just doomed yourself. This one, you cheated movie death.
Well, Julie and I were just talking about it. I don't know if it was on the show or afterwards, saying how these movies, this franchise, it has such potential for cleverness, and inventiveness with the traps, and it always was always just short of that. But we said, man, if they're doing a new one, if somebody comes in and they're really inspired, like they've seen them all and they know the formula, but they're inspired to do something more, we can have a great movie, and that's what they've done here.
Man, listen, I've had so much fun at this theater tonight. I don't know if this is the best movie I've seen this year, or if it's in my top 5, could be. But I will tell you what, it's damn sure one of the most fun movies, if not the most fun I've had at the theater. Man, this is by somebody who really understands his franchise and knows it enough to where they know how to top the last movie, or they know how to come in and do do bigger things with this
For food, y'all already know how to get some food. I got some Popeyes.
What's done right in the past, how not to repeat things, or when you do,
so,
it's a nod that like, hey, this
I
is a
smoked
callback.
before I left here,
Because, like,
and I ain't had nothing to eat.
And it doesn't.
And when I got to the movies, I had some kettle corn because I wanted to try that shit. I still got it. It's still over there. I got like half of it left. So, yeah.
And the opening scene here is incredible. Now, see, what they understand here is that some of the best scenes in Final Destination, it's not just about death. It's playing on fears.
Yes.
And then, my dumb ass was, when we did our retro review for the first one, boy, I'm glad Julian came in and stopped me, because I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and watch this on the plane, and then I'll be able to do that when I get back. And Julian, don't you do that. Don't you do that. Boy, if I had been on that plane and watched this, let me out! Let me out!
You would have been watching it, and it would have hit just a little bit of turbulence.
Right.
And you'd be screaming,
I would have tried to open that exit. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! I've just seen my devil. But that's what they do. They open up big, and it's not just about, when it's done right, it's not just about.
It's like I want to hit it, but I also want to get into the fucking food. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
What effects we can do? Look how crazy they are. They play on fears. Fear of flying. Fear of a roller coaster. This one says fear of an elevator. Fear of an elevator. With this one coming.
Elevator too.
Oh yeah, you talking about that? Yeah, that means you're gonna die too. But so in this movie, they start out with fear of heights. They make sure they do a slow pan up to show you how long this towering restaurant is, where this couple's going in and celebrating, well, I won't tell you, but they're celebrating something in the film. Of course, that's all about to get disrupted by death himself.
That fucking scene, boy.
It's like, and listen, I'm not gonna. This is gonna be a little hyperbolic, probably, but it's almost like watching Titanic go down.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought of.
Titties.
All those disaster movies from the 70s, like the Towering Inferno.
Yeah.
And the Poseidon.
Yeah. It's
Also got some Paul right here that I just went and picked up.
It's done incredibly well, but I also think what really works with this movie is that it's embraced the horror, and the kills here are wild, but it's also embraced comedy a lot more. I mean, this is straight up a horror comedy this time. I mean, the first one had some humor in it, had a lot of humor in it, but it was leaning more on the horror side still. Man, this one is everything is fun. Everything is fun.
Oh my god! Oh yeah!
Watching this, they do what Final Destination does. You do all the setups, and you were swerving through the setups. They're showing you all the potential things that could go wrong, and every one of them pay off with a gnarly kill and a big ass laugh. I laughed at every one of these people dying in here.
You're a sick bastard.
I didn't laugh. I was just more shocked than anything. So I was like, like I was more like that than anything. I ain't gonna lie. Except the first fucking kill. Well, the last kill of the first kill. They gonna talk about it too. I was like, there you get, you bitch.
Booking.com has all kinds of stays because a city hotel is right for some, but not quite right for others. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah. I know what justice is. I know what it looks like.
Every day I wake wake up, I try to honor that promise that I made to the city and the people who live here. That's who I am.
They got Detective Stabler his own fucking show. Where's Olivia? I haven't watched Law and Order in so long, man. I swear. It's like been so long.
But they also do a great
Like
job.
back then when I used to watch that before Raw used to come on.
So you're like, I can't wait for this character to get his. That's not here. That wasn't the case there. Oh no, I thought that was in the intro.
No, not at all.
Oh no, you know what? Okay, minor characters. Very minor, but still, minor. No, yes, minor characters. Yeah. They did. I would tell you what, they had something in here. No responsible adult should be laughing at. And someone died in this movie. And in any other movie, every adult would have been like, "That's not funny. You don't laugh at that." Man, the death that they did in this movie with that, it got the biggest applause out of anything.
It was the most satisfying death I ever.
I swear to God.
No, it really was. And every death is funny in this movie because everybody had the same reaction when it happened. Every time somebody died, there was always either a family member or somebody who just walked through the room, mouth wide open. And they cut to a kettle whistle or something. Man, listen, I'm sick, and I saw it with a bunch of sick-ass people. That might as well been a mental home. I would laugh at that shit. We were all psychotic watching this.
Well,
Oh, God.
They do such a good job of not just the setup, but the fake-outs. And then the fake-outs is like, oh, we're not done with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming back around.
Yeah.
But I also thought
I ain't gonna lie. Let me smoke first before I dig into it. I ain't gonna lie.
They gave them all
Let me smoke first.
So you had a chance to care about everybody. It wasn't like, oh, I can't wait for you to die.
Hold on.
It's almost like, oh, man, I sure hope you can make it, but it's not looking good.
Listen, the kills were too great for that.
Yeah. See, because the problem in this movie, not really a problem, it's an asset for this movie, but the thing with this film, see, the kills are great. And the problem is that it isn't that you're going to die. We're all going to die. Everybody dies. We just don't want to die like that.
Boy, I miss Tahitian Lime so much, boy. I want to open this bitch now. But, bruh, you know, I got a fucking problem because it's been so long since I had a 3-5 bag. The 8 bag is kind of damn near the same size,
But if you are on death shit list,
or supposed to be,
it's not going to be
but this is an actual 3-5, like crazy.
In bed, surrounded by family members at 90 years old, it's not going, it's not going to be a nice emotional sweet death. It's going to be messy. When it happens, they got to clean your ass up off the floor, the walls, the ceiling.
Yeah, because death has a sick sense of humor. And we'll start off with something mundane. Something you'd be like, oh, you could have saw that coming. Like, man, I could have seen this. How this was going to happen.
Our death could have just simply given you a heart attack. You could have had a brain aneurysm. But death said, what's the fun in that? And by the way, you bitches owe me. So we're going to have a little fun today. What I tell you, every death had mouth wide open.
If you by yourself, that's like, you know what, I need to go to time. But if you were part of the audience, like, got your
I need people to see my work.
I need people to see my work.
Don't worry, babe, I got you. Man, like I said, it's so much fun that it brings out the evil in you, man. Every death in this movie got an applause.
Yeah.
And Martin is 100% correct, or at least I agree with him 100%, because it's not it's not like these people
Stupid ass.
are unlikable. You know, at least when we get to the family, none of them were assholes. You know, none of them were like, well, they had it coming.
Yeah.
No, they are actually a sweet family that cares about each other, which should make this more of a tragedy. My man right here, like when you open up, you saw like this sets the tone for what kind of people they are.
Family. You don't get to pick the one you get. You just gotta love the one you got.
And they got each other's back.
But also they have some tension in the family, which makes them more relatable, like real people. Like so often with movies, they just go like, well, the family and they're all nice and sweet, and that's it. But it's like, oh, they gave them some dimension here.
Yeah. No, they did. No, they really did. It makes it you know, it makes it a little hard to see them die so hard, but
yeah, exactly. That's the extra thing. Like, oh, maybe they think I was like, oh, you know where you are. You knew what this was.
You shouldn't be here if you don't work at it. You should sign up for. Is your phone doing that thing again? No, boy, no.
What this was.
You shouldn't be here if you don't work at it. You should sign up for. Is your phone doing that thing again? No, boy, no.
No, boy, this was.
You shouldn't be here if you don't work at it. You should sign up for. Is your phone doing that thing again? No, boy, no. Well, you would not have no premonitions. No. That was just Shopify. He knew. Hey, he knew I was coming. No, Martin. We have to stop and get the word out to our sponsor, which is Shopify. Hey, listen. I have a premonition about you folks out there. $1 per month trial period. That's all lowercase. I want to thank Shopify for sponsoring this portion of our review. And now back to that review. Yeah, man. You know, I felt violent.
Listen to this dope.
Because the cast is really good.
This that Run It
Yeah, especially be a bunch of
and Quicksand. I ain't gonna lie, I wish I had some of that. I wish I had that Run It instead of that fucking apples and bananas bread, apple banana bread. But it's all good. Cause I could have went to fucking Bacardi and got the apples and bananas, bitch. But it's all good.
So even when they're abrasive with each other, I mean, they're going through a lot. You understand? You know, it's not like they're being a dick or anything. Everybody's going through it. And like I said, they really do care for each other. And when things start going down, they're trying to save each other. They're trying to do the best that they can to prevent whatever's going to happen next to happen. But y'all still gotta go.
Oh shit!
Nobody come here for love and family. We came here for death. Grisly, brutal death. That's what you get with this movie, man. I do like that it was a mixture though of a young cast and an older cast.
Yes.
You know, this wasn't like, oh, we just gotta do another Scream thing where it's just centered on 20-somethings or teenagers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I like that about it a lot.
that's because of the family dynamic in the movie. You know, because everybody is, everybody's related, and everybody's on the list. One way or another, everybody has to be included. Everybody gets, a lot of screen time. So, some of the people that I think are standouts in the cast, let's see here. I really did like the lead actress, Caitlin Santawana. Yeah, she was. I think she led the film very well, man. And she's
Hit
the
you
one
with her too.
that's trying to save everybody.
Hit you with
she
her too.
cares so much that everybody's doing. And it was frustrating at first.
Oh man.
Because she's trying to let everybody know. She knows what's going to go on. Of course, it sounds crazy. And this is a family. They just kind of love you. Sometimes we really hate you too. So you feel for her in the beginning, man. But instead of this movie where she's going through the whole film, and everybody thinks she's crazy, they get on board really quick.
Yeah. After the next incident, they're like, oh, you're onto something. What's she saying?
Also, let me see here.
I mean, I don't know, but also in the beginning, where her giving out her theories, and Grandma said this, and you better see everybody going like, you need to stop.
Yeah, she was doing a lot of the beginning.
It was bad.
She was being very pushy.
Yeah.
she like I admit she could have used a little more tact, like so you know. But and I don't know why, man. Like I said, I like everybody in this movie, but there was something about this dude, Richard Harmon.
He was amazing.
He was so funny, man.
Yeah.
And he was so funny without, other movies, they would have made him funny by making him an asshole.
Right.
And he really
He basically was an asshole though.
He was abrasive.
Yeah.
You know,
You can't blame him.
you can't blame him. You know, he's all emo and shit, but his piercings everywhere.
Yeah, he had some, listen, he had some lame ass shit.
Yeah.
Damn stool on his damn stomach and everything.
Yeah, he's a
That's what the purpose is.
You know, little angry cliche, but not to the point of you like, I can't stand this dude, because he was funny.
Yeah.
He was very funny. He was very funny. And speaking of him, the movie, you saw the trailer, the movie does some pretty clever callbacks to classic moments in the series.
Maybe that's why I should come in for our family. Because that would be great.
So you know, if you've seen Final Destination, you know what that's a reference to. I'm not gonna say it, but they do that a lot in the movie, and it's not, and they don't do where they stop the camera and they go, if they do, they make it funny.
Yeah.
You know, so that I like the way they handle those references, man. But I gotta say, man, it's while I'm talking about this is funny, and I'm talking about how much of a good time I had. A little melancholy, a little bittersweet. With the great Tony Todd, I was happy to see that people really gave him a moment of applause during the screening. It's sad. It's probably the saddest death in the movie, being that he really did die.
Yeah.
I didn't believe he died. When he died, was it last year, 2024?
Hey yo. Y'all, they not doing a non-spoiler review, but we doing a spoiler review. Man, I'm thinking that this nigga was gonna actually fucking die in the movie. Like real shit. Cause the fact that this nigga was in the open world, unlike the fucking main character's grandmother, and this nigga was like just peaceful. I'm pretty sure he used to, go home and shit. He's definitely in a different spot. So he's been escaping death for this fucking long, just easily. Like I'm thinking that this nigga died in the fucking movie, but spoiler alert, he doesn't die, but he does. It was a good send off. I ain't gonna lie, it was a good send off. It was a great send off.
Not sure. But the thing is, you can see how skinny he is, and he was ill.
Yeah.
I believe during the film.
Right.
But
they worked it into the movie.
They did. Yeah. It was eerie in a way that they worked it into the movie, man. They really did give him a proper send off.
Type shit.
And
just said that shit.
Type shit. Because the man is sick. This movie's about death.
Right.
Everybody else would have like, it would be a movie about death. But no, they do a really great job. Kind of knowing probably he won't be around for long. They do a great job at giving him a proper send off.
So, if you take a life, you get the time that person had left.
What? No, I'm not gonna kill someone. Just let the guy finish.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. He's so funny, man. If I had any criticisms about this, there are moments where this is a really not just tragic but horribly tragic thing that occurs. And when things slow down, they kind of act like things are really back to normal. And that's just a small thing because I can let it go because of the movie's comedy aspect. But yeah, there were moments where like these people are traumatized, and they just once things slow down, it's like okay, things are back to normal now. It's also convenient that now these are not this is like not just brothers and sisters. These are cousins, uncles, and everything. I thought it was convenient that the whole family not only live in the same town but also in the same neighborhood. Like right down the street from each other sometimes. But the whole family, but it happens. Like I said, it's not a big deal. But you can tell like it's for the sake of writing, we gotta have these people in the same place. Also, the beginning of the movie, during that really incredible death scene, that tower scene at the beginning. there was that's a period piece. That's set probably
It's like the late 50s.
Like late 50s, and it was not all the styles fit in. I saw one black dude with a very modern hairstyle. There was some things like, okay, I don't know if that black dude dancing that right like that.
Well, that was the thing. Listen, I'm not going to take the point off the movie. But this scene which y'all set up is beautiful. But
how about they still had that shit at the fucking movie?
Even early 60s, you're not gonna have this exclusive restaurant /
Like,
club.
I don't know if that was like the only one they had left, or they like had more in the back, but like they was still selling that fucking bucket.
Yeah, and yet some
I ain't seen these other bitches.
Like, that's not a thing.
No,
Crazy.
yeah, it was in the 60s, but that's what I thought.
That's why when I saw Captain America shit on the AMC website, I was like, they don't at least have the helmet. I can understand how they don't have the fucking the shield bucket, but the helmet?
Yeah, and now, like I said, I saw some styles. Like I was confused. I was like, all right, this person
It's all
is
good.
clearly a time traveler. Yeah. But listen, I enjoyed the movie, and I was surprised to learn about who did it. The director is the reason why he knows how to do horror so well. This man was raised in horror. The director is Zach Lepofsky. There he is right there. The reason why I say he was raised in horror is because he played an episode of Goosebumps.
Oh,
Man, fake ass teeth. I think that's the most horrible thing I've seen.
I thought those were his real teeth. I was like, oh, boy, you got that. At least he grew into them.
He grew.
She didn't pass on the Romney Mallet.
Yeah.
They Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, the season of White Lotus. This is the episode of Goosebumps.
But she's a vampire.
Of course he is. We all are.
You want to know anything heard that first? By the time you got your first meal, they'll be fine.
Oh, the horror. The horror. The teeth. But man, yeah, he really understood the series and did a great job. And I give us a full price. Like I said, I had a great time with it. Like, again, maybe it's because the crowd I watched it with, but I still would have watched it.
Bruh, I had nobody in the theater with me. It was literally just me.
With the audience, I would say, make sure
Blunt up in that bitch for all that, bro. And I had them on me. I had them on me. I had all the dope in the fucking theater. All the dope in the theater. Fuck you mean, boy?
You might even shed a tear or two.
Fuck you mean?
But yeah, full price for me.
Yeah, this movie, it's so good with the fake outs. I mean, so clever with the setups and then with the fake outs that I even saw a death in the trailer that's not in the movie.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
love
word?
to get you. But that's so much of the fun of it. But also,
Gotta go back and watch the trailer now. Well,
for me,
fuck the
works really
trailer.
well with this movie is that it's got a driving plot.
Yeah.
Like deaths aside, everybody has a goal and you're with them, like hoping they can solve this riddle. Yeah. So it's always got forward movement to it. Other than the anachronistic interracial diversity in the beginning, my only big flaw with the movie is that you kind of depend on a sequel that comes way after the fact to be bad.
Yeah.
So to stay away from these. And then you get one that's good like this, and it makes you take a chance on all the next few terrible ones that come up. But yeah, we've been having some really good and fun movies lately. This does for this franchise what kind of Thunderbolts did for Marvel. It's like, oh, you're doing all the things we've been wanting you to do finally. So yeah, it's a full price.
Yeah, so this is like my introduction to Final Destination.
It's all downhill.
You should like that, Drew. Thought we were friends, man.
And I wanted to say, man, that beginning sequence, that introduction into the movie, I wanted to say that's probably one of the best intros I've probably ever seen. And I think the reason why it's so good, especially somebody like me that hasn't seen the other movies, is that it sets up everything that's going to happen later on in the film. Like, it sets up, okay, these are these characters going to act. It sets up the tone of the film. It sets up how the deaths are going to be. I was like,
I be smoking crack in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
But like watching that intro, I was like, yeah,
Nine in a stall in a urinal.
funny as shit.
Urinal. I don't know.
I can take it, but after a while, it's like, God, these depths are getting to me. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this. I think some of my criticisms probably surrounding the dialogue. I thought the dialogue was a little cheesy in some points. Where I was like, all right, I think if this were to happen, they probably wouldn't be saying something like that. But definitely, yeah, I had fun with these characters. I don't know if I would go full. Probably go to IMAX. But I would say definitely go see this in IMAX. I think it's shot in IMAX. It looks beautiful in IMAX. I think that's the best way to say it.
Some really good sound mixing with this.
Yeah, they do take advantage of IMAX pretty well.
I was like, bro, just looking at the fucking intro row, I was like, this should be an IMAX. My fucking auditorium had 4 rows, my nigga. That shit crazy. I've never been in one like that before, ever.
68.
4 rows?
I don't think that's
that can't be 68.
That's if they say it's 68, I think they got the style just wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think they even said that time for us.
No, it's safe to not say, but there's a lot going on in 68 that it's not showing up there.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it, but it looked dirty. But hey, they were at a fancy place, so probably they
must have been like putting small towns in Iowa at the time.
So we don't know. Some other people say it's 50s, late 50s. I'm gonna stick with late 50s, early 60s myself. If I was to go as far as maybe 64, I'm stopping there. I'm getting top shit right now, something.
Yeah, because this is very creepy.
Oh, but you look at that. You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like this. Just go ahead and press that like button. Subscribe while you're at it. Check out our other channels.
Too many times was I told that I had to choose between being an athlete and being an academic, being a student. How were you possibly training, travel all around the world, and also go to school? I really enjoy being able to talk about my experience because I hope that someone that is either in a similar situation or their life is just inundated, right? You have to work, you have to take care of your family, you have to do all of these things, can realize that it is possible when you're working with a program that is this flexible. They make it possible. You can make it possible. I guarantee you can find a few hours in the week to be able to push yourself toward a goal you've always wanted to achieve. This is how I move forward with Purdue Global. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
You can see where it's going. Right in this shot.
I'm moving on, Carter. And if you want to waste your life beating shit out of Alex every time you see him, you can just drop fucking dead.
Oh, no, he's standing in the middle of the street so long.
Is a car gonna come along?
Oh, no, Mark, you're wrong. A bus!
A bus!
Listen, if you can't see a big-ass bus coming your way, you deserve to die.
You hear it, there's nothing else.
Yeah,
You didn't look at it.
that bus jumped out from behind a bush or something.
Stupid ass.
Here down south, our roots run deep. At the Lucky Law Firm, our commitment to you is just as strong. We're here to ensure you.
Okay, a long time ago, this was a trope that got people.
You can just drop dead.
She's standing in the middle of the street so long.
Is a car gonna come along?
Oh, no.
That's crazy. It started. It's crazy. It started exactly what the intro was supposed to be. That's crazy.
You hear it, there's nothing else.
That's crazy.
Like that bus jumped out from behind a bush or something.
And the bus didn't step on his brakes at all?
No, kept on going. Everyone tickets are finally on sale for the Double Toasting 11th year anniversary party, July 18th to the 20th. Join us for a full weekend full of live music, comedy, a movie screening, parties, and much, much more. Get your tickets by going to Double Toasting 11th year anniversary party. You can put it at Eventbrite if you want to be more specific, or click that QR code right there to take you exactly where you need to be. Let's go ahead and get into what we came here to do today. And that is, I'm trying to do these more frequently whenever we have times. I enjoy doing these. They do well for us. That is a retro, a nice retro review for you. We have, what is the 6th Final Destination movie coming out?
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines. Bloodlines is what it's called?
Yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines.
And it just occurred to me that I had never, ever seen what some people consider to be a classic now, which is Final Destination 1.
Plane, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up.
It blew up.
I don't know about the rest of you, but
that explosion is. Yeah, so this is about a high school student about to graduate. His name is Alex. He's about to take a celebratory class trip to France. When he has a vision of the plane crashing, he says, "Yeah, I'm off this bitch." He gets off all, before anybody. Of course, because people are trying to stop him, some people associated with him, they get kicked off the plane also. And what is an annoyance for others turns out to be horribly true. So those who were lucky enough to leave the plane with him, turns out they're not so lucky because they cheated death.
yeah, he was supposed to die.
Exactly. That's it. You gotta be around to get mine.
I got your number.
Yeah, I'll let y'all chill for a little bit, but I'm gonna come back.
It's gonna be worse next
Yeah,
time.
it's gonna be much worse because you know what? Next time I come back, I'm gonna be playing some games with y'all. I'm gonna play Home Alone with y'all. We'll have some fun. Y'all should have went down that plane. Now I'm gonna take my sweet ass time.
Just got a credit card.
Fuck ho.
Yeah,
Fuck ho.
which means death at the end of the
And
day.
I wear all my clothes. Wear all my clothes. Wear all my clothes.
Yeah,
Wear all my
death
clothes.
is
Oh.
coming to collect. We're gonna have a little fun.
Oh.
So the original was so
Fuck it.
that it spawned 4 of the sequels. Now we're about to get the 6th one. And the movies have grossed over 600 million worldwide altogether. So it's not so bad for a series that started out pretty paying when it came out. But the movie itself, first one, is still wildly popular. I mean, they consider it a cult classic. It's classic. It's wildly popular with audiences out there. This one came out in 2000. This is the 25th anniversary of the first one. So yeah, it was March of 2000 when it came out.
It's got a big director behind it.
Yeah, Bond. Yeah, Django Bond. Yeah.
Now, when you smoking crack, how you light that pipe? Oh, because I light it like this all night. Rolling around with fire. Oh, that shit, she gonna die.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Hey yo, not for real though. Not for real though. Like fuck. Fuck.
I do love.
God damn. Just make me wanna go home with you. Oh man. But the question is, should I dissect that shit now and like put it in something else? Like another bag or something?
God said, I'm fucked up.
I mean, I gave him cerebral palsy to begin with, so.
So I'm doing a favor. Nah, it's no, I think the concept is great with this. It's a slasher without a physical slasher. And
Yeah, the killer is everything and anything around you.
Just in case I eat some shit. God is grace, God is good. Let's take it for this food bar here. Jimmy Fan, take off for the Instagram, man.
Slasher killer here. It's actually a Jewish cartoonist named Rube Goldberg. Look how evil it is.
Chomping on that cigar.
Oh my God, I'm gonna kill all you sons of bitches that make you smoking a cigar. I like to kill the children. The reason why I brought up this is Rube Goldberg, y'all. Rube Goldberg, you probably heard the term. Rube Goldberg was known for doing very elaborate and overcomplicated cartoons about machines that were meant to do just very simple tasks.
Yeah, yeah. And he used to use them in animated cartoons all the time. You play that
Yeah, exactly.
You watch the ball go here, knock over dominoes, and the cuckoo clock, and it hits that.
Yeah, you see people do it on YouTube now all the time, setting up dominoes.
Yeah.
And other things. Like a Rube Goldberg machine is a very popular performing YouTube video for people. They make these crazy contraptions just to, shoot a basketball.
Yeah.
A lot of the OK Go's music videos are Rube Goldberg machines. Really cool ones.
Yeah. And the reason why we're bringing this up is because you could say that the Rube Goldberg machine is the killer here in a way, because Death sets up a lot of elaborate Home Alone things. Yeah. I'll say I'm a fan of Home Alone. Home Alone owes a lot to this man right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's great though, because though we can't see Death in this, it still gave Death a personality. Death is kind of like, well, an asshole, really. It's just a devilish trickster who likes to play with his prey in the most childish and cartoonish ass way.
The whole time just being windy.
Yeah, man. I think that's good because, when this happens, let me see here. When this happens, it's a concept that deserves a lot of credit because it makes the kills less predictable. I think they're very creative and fun. It goes against our expectations. I think I might have an example of one of the kills right here. If you remember this movie, they get more elaborate as they go along. But in the middle of the movie, they had the teacher. I forgot her name. She was the chaperone for the kids going to France because she got off the plane. Her ass had to go too, and she got it. This is a point of discussion. I would say she got it pretty bad, but I don't think she did. But the setup was pretty cool. She poured herself some vodka, that's right, and it leaked all over her computer.
Well, first she decided she was going to pour tea, but then she was like, no, I don't want to do tea. So she put ice in the glass that was hot, and that caused the glass to crack.
Yeah, there's it. Now you need something stronger. Enough just to stab in the neck. Dad said, what's fun about that?
Yeah, she's still standing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a little more fun. Let's have a go across the room and play with our expectations. Meanwhile, so you see what's happening here is you're trying to guess, is she going to bleed to death? Is she going to get stabbed? Is she going to get electrocuted? Is she going to burn to death? Is she going to blow up? That's the way it plays with expectations. Usually when you have a slasher, they have a knife or some sort of...
Usually pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's like they have an axe or something, you know what's going to happen. It's like, you can stab somebody only so many ways, But here, there's multiple choices here. Choose one. Or many. It's like I said, I think it's also a great business because you can always keep finding, as a main kid, you can always keep finding more creative ways to kill people.
Yeah.
This franchise right here.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. The whole, that anticipating, okay, is this going to be it? And then after you've seen a few of them, you're like, nah, it's not going to be this. What's the next thing? And, when they get clever, they find something, you're like, I did not see that one.
Yeah, and I think watching some of the other movies, that they do get silly, kind of like that. But it gets to a point where there's some deaths that are really messed up, man. There's like you're talking about this one, the one where the Todd, the character of Todd,
the shower,
who's the shower scene, who is Alice's best friend. It was rough watching him go. Some parts of it are silly because. And this will probably come up later when I talk about my complaints with the film, but this is a movie where everything's supposed to be accidental. Here, when he's about to die, the water follows him around. The water is the stalker. The water is actually stalking the guy. toys to help him out.
Right.
But you know, it's always messed up to see somebody strangled.
Yeah.
You know, it's always messed up to see somebody suffering and whatnot. So that was one that was kind of fun, kind of silly, but also, you know, one of the ones that excruciating. Yeah, somebody said, why didn't you just stand up? Well, for one, his feet are slippery and he can't get any leverage the way he's being pulled up.
Yeah, it's pretty realistic the way that they show that. Like that could happen. I mean, it's crazy looking when the thing wraps around his neck.
Yeah.
But the whole soap thing, that's
No, that is. But those things, they're not that strong. They're not to pull you the way you can.
No.
Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to pull it out and string it along.
No, listen, yeah, these things are
It's a bit of a cheat.
By the way, that character of Todd is played by Chad Miller. It's funny, they had an ongoing thing. They got a couple of ongoing things in this movie. He keeps shit in this movie, man.
Does he?
Yeah, there's a part where he's talking to his best friend is Alex, who's played by
Devin Sawa.
Who y'all have seen him lately. You probably don't even remember him.
I think I watched this already.
He was in that movie Hard Eyes recently.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's also,
and he's famously in the Stand music video for Eminem.
Oh, that's right. That was him. Yeah, I was thinking him, but he was in Idle Hands also.
Yeah, Idle Hands. He was also Hunter Dunbar.
Yes.
and Dramatic.
Yeah, his most iconic role.
Oh, and he was also in Chucky, the series Chucky. But anyway, he goes up to him and says, "Hey man, let's go take a shit together." Like, what? And he's like, "Yeah, you know, man, these couple hot girls on the plane, and if you open up the door and they smell your shit, man, that's not gonna be good for you." Like, well, those girls gotta take a shit. You know, but yeah, there's a couple scenes they're in there taking the shit together. We spend time with elaborate camera shots after that, and then later on in the movie, it's like, all right, well, we got that shit shot out the way, and then later you can take another shit afterwards. I was like, man, how many shit scenes there to cut out?
I didn't even think about that. That's so funny.
So, you know, I do have a small criticism about these kills here. And one of them is, I think that, and it depends on what you're looking for. It could be a criticism for some people, for others it might be fine. I can kind of see both arguments here. I'm just kind of making an argument just to do it. I'm just starting shit. So, the actual kill, I think sometimes is tamer than the tease.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they show you some things, and you're thinking, if you're like a person who, you know, with your horror, you like it pretty hardcore with the gore, or you know, some kills in there. You know, you want to see things get, you know, you want to see things get impaled in places where you know they don't see it. You know, they kind of tease that here, like the nose hair clipping. Mm-hmm. Shit, that's gonna be painful death by nose clipping. Nose hair clipping. That doesn't happen. He chokes to death. You know, that's a rough scene to watch him choking, but that whole time I'm just kind of wincing thinking about those clippers going up into his brain.
Yeah.
That would have been a gnarly kill to do that, but they didn't, you know. So when you compare the two, the choking is not that bad. You know, also the kitchen scene with the teacher, when she's, near the end of her whole Rube Goldberg setup, they set up something where I do think they should have carried it a little further. Might have been a little silly, I understand if you didn't want to, but here it is right here. Okay, so we got this towel on this, not a knife, but a knife set.
Right, a block of knives.
A block of knives, and she's obviously about to pull this down. And I'm thinking, oh shit, man. She's gonna be a pincushion after this. You know, she's gonna have knives all over her. And it's just like just one knife. I mean, you know, I was
thinking. Well, the other was with elsewhere in her. Like with some in her leg.
No, that's laying on her. Like, no, it's just that one knife.
Oh, okay.
You know, listen, if we're gonna do this elaborate ass setup, and we're gonna go, you know, this length to get a payoff, you know, one knife in the chest. That's nice.
The wood block doesn't hit her in the head.
No. That would have been awesome. But she also had her throat slit by the computer.
Yeah, she had a little bit of glass shatter going there. But I thought, man, at least a couple of knives. One in the throat, maybe one in the eye. You know, I'm being sadistic here. Yeah, but I mean, it's a hard movie. Listen, I'm not talking about nothing itself. No, we gonna go through this. I need more. I'm crazy like that. Yeah.
Well, come back for the second one. You want more.
Yeah, I will. You get Colby cut. but you know, I can also see the argument of it could be, you know, no pun intended, it could be overkill if you do that. You know, it could sometimes having it be too silly could or if you do too much, it could be a distraction in a way.
And I thought it was pretty classy the way that they foreshadowed that she was going to get killed by the knife. Like, there's a couple things that they do, and the window in the back.
Yeah, the stained glass window with the knife back there.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. They did that. You know, there's a couple of fun setups that they do. I mean, on the one hand, it could be seen as a little heavy-handed, you know, maybe, but I thought that was pretty cool. She, you know, they pretty much foreshadowed that she was gonna get a knife somewhere in her ass. Right in the back, right there. So they told us anyway ahead of time. You know, critics that heavily pan this, even though I'm criticizing this now, I think critics that heavily pan this, they really did fail to see how these movies would play out in the future, upon future viewings. Because I think with the right crowd, these movies are a lot of fun. Like I said, I saw a couple of them. I saw because I wouldn't go crazy, but you know, if I saw them with the right crowd, they are fun.
Yeah.
Also, you know, perfect for home viewership.
Yeah.
You know, which today we see have gone up. You know, COVID, you can say COVID, whatever, technology, streaming, whatever, but people are probably staying home a little bit more and watching things, and these are perfect to do that with, man. You know, you're at home getting stoned, drunk,
friends over.
Yeah, you got friends over. Man, you're a teenager or a preteen. I mean, especially with some kids up there, your first hardcore horror movie, that's perfect for it right there. You know, slumber parties, just hanging, Halloween. No, these things, I think there's a reason why they're going strong. There's a reason why this is considered a classic. And I think that, I will say that that I'm probably not on the side of critics with this one.
Yeah.
There are the majority of critics that say that this is not that great. I think, no, is it great? Maybe not. You can argue that. But does it serve its purpose very well? Hell yeah.
Well, plus it's something so different, and it's a fun, original idea that mixes things up. That's one of the biggest things that it's got going for it.
Yeah.
And why you would go, ooh, what's going to happen in the next one? And when you watch them, even though you might go like, well, it's kind of schlocky, but it's still fun to see the setup and where the fake out is going to be.
Yeah, that's it, the fake out. Yeah, that's what I love that they do that. Some people don't like that. That's fine. But a lot of people, there's a reason why, again, this is successful. And a lot of people really enjoy trying to guess what's going to happen. Like I said, the only thing I complain about with that is sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes, because as the movies went on, the kills got crazy.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
And they did start to pay off. And so with this one, if you didn't get it here, they got some that are really going there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not just about the kills either. I think that there's some things that they do that are pretty interesting with the story.
Especially at this time where like the concept is not fully developed as we know it today.
Well, yeah, that's true. And like I said, I haven't followed the movies enough to know where the story has gone, where it has gone, or how they connect with each other.
Very loosely, I think, for the most part.
Okay.
Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think that the lead in this movie returns. Like, he might be in the second one, but he's not in, like, the third, the fourth, and the fifth.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I can see him being the second one. I know in one he made a cameo. Somebody was getting on a plane, and you hear in the background somebody's going crazy, and it's Alex.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and they weren't connected at all. They were about to get on a plane to go to France. They set it up that they're going to France, and if you don't know, or you're just not thinking about it, you don't make the connection. And he gets on the plane, you hear somebody,
Hey.
and he just let it, explain the background.
How you doing? What you doing? How you doing? What you doing? How you doing?
I think that they're good character-driven elements here. Like how Alex, for a moment, I mean, you want to really think about it. I mean, just for a moment, he's kind of a hero. He saved at least a handful of lives on the plane.
Saved it for what though?
But yeah, just delayed. But he didn't know that.
Right.
Everybody at the moment, for all they know, they had their lives saved by this guy. But it doesn't work out that way because he's been able to see the future somehow. Now he's ostracized by people whose family members did die. He's seen as a freak. He's scared the shit out of people. destination.
Yeah, a teacher saying that to a student, crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
You're alive because of me.
Oh.
At least temporarily.
Well, not for long.
I was right.
That's the thing. Everybody who died in the plane went instantly without knowing what was happening.
Yeah. But again, nobody knew. Also because no one
655.
any proof of the supernatural here. No one, of course, believes in the supernatural, even though something supernatural is going on. I think they played that well because since no one knows it, now he's seen as a suspect. Like, you put that bomb on that plane, we know what you did. So the police are hounding him too.
He said, listen to me. This plane will explode on takeoff. It's weird. You take any drugs? Signed.
And that being easy right there, but as it goes on, they think he's obviously has something to do with other people's murders as people start dying. And I just thought that's a cool position to be in. Because, you start thinking at first, y'all the lucky ones. It's a good thing you had that vision. And now he's like, no, I wish I'd stayed on that goddamn plane.
Right. Just got off by myself and have not said a word.
Yeah. And I like this character, man, because, he's cursed with knowing that his friends are going to die, but he can't help them because he doesn't know how. He's trying to figure out how to cheat death again. But the other thing is, some of them don't want his help. Some of them actually hate him for something that he didn't do. It really actually made me feel very bad for that character right there.
Sure.
You know what he needs, man? He needs some of that better help.
Too long. Okay, what's he coming back to?
Well, I'm talking about something.
More like Final Destination. He saw a vision of my ad come up.
Julie, come on, we gotta go. I gotta get out of this show.
And then you die later. No, people, we have to stop and give a word out to our sponsor right now, which is BetterHelp. If you're seeing visions of death ahead of time, it's probably causing a lot of stress. It's probably wearing you. I mean, of course, it's going to mess up your head. You need to talk to somebody. But also, even if you're not having those visions, let's just say you're just trying to get your life organized, trying to get your house straightened up. You're trying to get to a nice mind state so you can just achieve certain goals in your life. Relationship problems. Anyway, a lot of people. You've been arguing a lot lately. You and I, man. I just want us to be good again. So Martin, you need to join me and get some help.
Okay.
BetterHelp. And it's easier now because it's online. Online therapy is very convenient. One of the best places to start, if not the best place, is with BetterHelp. /Double Toasted. Again, that's betterhelp.com /Double-Toasted. I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the show, and y'all put my mind at ease, all you loyal toasters out there, so I want to thank you for your support. All right, back to retro review. All right, let's see what we got here. I think the cast here is pretty good, man. As we said, Devin Sawa. A lot of these people are very young. Devin Sawa, I think he was 21 at the time, around 21. I liked him because as the lead character here, he could be pretty funny at times. Also, at times, he could be very intense.
There's this pattern. There is a pattern for us all. There's a pattern for you. There's a pattern for you. There's design for everyone.
He scared the shit out of him, actually. Later on, he was sitting against the wall. He was like, yeah, I was trying to read that shit.
It's there. I almost believed him.
There's some people who were just getting their start in other movies in this that I didn't know were in it at the time. Just a year before this movie came out, Sean William Scott was setting up his character Stifler in American Pie.
Yeah.
And he's in this movie too. Forgot his character's name, but American Pie had just come out. So it's still early enough to where he wasn't living under that character's shadow just yet. Because, years later, he was kind of Stifler and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even though, that's all I could think about when I saw him there. I was like, wow, they're really calm Stifler.
He's a goofier version of Stifler, man. Like
way less horny.
Yeah, because Stifler is horny and Stifler, but still, he's kind of a cool guy because he's a party guy. He's still charismatic. This guy that he plays here, I love that guy. Yeah, he's just a goofy, man. I love him because he's a character who's so goofy, like he barely passed his driver's license. Even the driving instructor, before any of this stuff happened, he said, "Boy, you gonna die."
Yeah, Williams, he goes, young man, you're gonna die at a very young age. Is that true?
He is great in this movie, man. He's and he has a big role in there, but I really enjoyed this. He brings a lot of humor to this movie right here, and the movie knows it. The director knows it. The script, I swear to you, they probably elaborate on his character a little bit more because he's so funny. There's a running gag in here where they got this character we're talking about a little bit, Carter the bully. And for some reason, and he's not doing it on purpose, but he doesn't care. Carter's in his big ass muscle car, and he's always almost hitting and killing this guy right here.
Oh.
Yeah, and doesn't care. Now you think he'd get out and be like, "I'm sorry, oh my God, you okay?" Like, nah. He was going over to Alex to beat Alex's ass. Like he's in the middle of the street. But there's this running gag where every time he almost hits him, Sean William Scott, he's in the background. "Carter, you dick!"
Move it. Colleagues.
Carter, you dick! And he does it later in the movie. Carter, you dick!
You can only imagine how many times he said that to him that wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, even at the beginning of the movie, I think when they get on the plane, he pushes him out the way, like, "Carter, you dick!" So I like the running gag with him in there, man. Like I said, the movie has a nice sense of humor. That's kind of, in a sinister way, kind of smart too. Because the movie has some in-jokes in there like that. If you really think about it, they're kind of dumb. Like, I'll play this one for you. Okay. You'll see what I'm talking about. John Denver.
Yeah.
John Denver died in a plane crash.
Yeah. Yep.
So the movie, this dude's dad talking about, "Hey, did he cheat death?" We don't know. But I also understand the critics too.
Because it does veer into silly ass shit at some point.
Oh, yeah, man. Listen, it might be a different kind of slasher movie. It might even have a physical slasher in it, but it's still a slasher movie. And that means that, listen, that doesn't mean that a movie can't be a slasher movie and be intelligent. Scream was that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Very smart film. And also a very classic, formulated slasher movie. In fact, the characters in this movie, they were supposed to be adults, but the studio made them change the script.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they made them change them to teenagers because of the success of Scream.
Oh, that really makes me feel like archetypes. Like just cliche stereotypes.
That's exactly my complaint with this. I can see, I think the cast is excellent.
Was that Ali Larter as one of them?
Yeah, Ali Larter's in this. And I think that as far as their performances, I think the young cast here is pretty good. I think they're pretty excellent. But with the exception of Devon Sawa's character, Alex, there's nothing much to the character. Like you said, some of these are types to a fault. So you have the character of Carter, the one that was almost killing Sean William Scott several times. There he is, right there, in the center of the screen. You can see he was that
the bully, the greaser.
Yeah, he's got bully face, he's got bully hair, he's got that bully Letterman jacket on. He's got a bully chain. Dude is he's a straight up dig, man. And like I say, drives a muscle car that he could care less about hitting somebody with. And think that listen, there's nothing wrong with a bully in a movie. The fact we like that. And there's nothing wrong with stereotypical bully, but you gotta have some sort of reason or context behind it to make the character better. Because Carter's just angry right off the bat. Carter's just mad. Like their teacher comes up, he's like, "Hey, all right, hey, everybody." Like, what you say? Like he wants to beat the shit out of the teacher. I Like, ease up, man.
Yeah, right.
Like he's constantly angry.
Yeah, I mean, acting like he doesn't know he's going to France and there's a French teacher.
Yeah, got a hot ass girl. He's going to France. Got a muscle card. You know, good looking guy. What's wrong with you? Calm your ass down.
Just frog in charge. Is he saying?
Yeah. And when Alex is freaking out to get off the plane, I don't care how much of a bully you are. You can listen. You do that at least one moment in your life. Be like, yo, dude, what's wrong, man? Maybe you might not be the nice guy about it. You know, you might be a little forceful. Hey, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Come on, settle down. What's going on? No, he immediately wants to beat his ass. Like he gets started, like before they got off the plane, he's trying to start a fight.
Shut up, Brownie. You're so not funny. You're a shit children.
I don't know.
That scene is crazy. Like, all these people are running around. There's actually a really good stunt in that scene, too.
Well, I'll look at it a little bit, but yeah, this that's what I'm saying. I don't know what this dude's problem is. I mean, is he roided out or something? That's the thing. They don't say.
Yeah.
He's just a bully and mad.
Yeah.
That's all.
And just looking for a reason to fight somebody.
Yeah. Again, calm your ass down, man.
There's the protagonist. I need to create a problem for him.
Also, you know, they need to have a quick way for him to get off the plane.
Yeah.
So let's just start a fight for no reason. Because I'm a bully. You know, so that was kind of wild right there.
Sean Williams got in the background watching. Looks like a dick.
Carter, you're a dick.
Isn't it Carter that wanted to go on this trip?
Well, he wants to go because he wants to go beat up some French people. Froze. But,
The mom's making
Allie Carter, you're right. It's Allie Larder. She's in this movie. She was on Lost. Is that what?
No. She's on Landman right now, but she was in that Beyonce movie with Idris Elba.
That was her.
Yeah.
Oh, she was the one.
Yeah.
She was the white devil.
She was on Heroes.
She was Heroes. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
You know, I'm damn fantasy island shows and stuff. Yeah, that's right. She was the one that's trying to get that black penis.
Yeah.
Why would I not remember that? That movie's amazing.
Right.
Maybe like terrible.
Well, she's blonde most of the time you see her.
Yeah. Well, she was good in this. She's so good though that I think they don't use her character. She's there for, you know, since Alex is being so shunned and people are being freaked out by him in the community, they need to give him someone to talk to. And so, you know, while they're getting this girl, why not just make this sort of a love interest, which just kind of happens out of nowhere. Like, I can't tell what's going on with her. Like, I can't tell she's some new age shit, some hippie type shit. Yeah, it's like Charlie Brown. You don't even see her parents. I don't even know if she lives with parents.
Yeah.
But, you know, because she talks to him off the plane without, you know, because she just said, I think you're right. All of a sudden, that means there's a connection, and attraction between us.
3 years in high school, we haven't said one word to each other. At that moment on the plane, I felt. You know, because I can still feel you.
Yeah, you're crazier than me. Shit.
But she was doing this dick. Yeah, keep feeling it.
I was gonna try to hook up with her. Make it better of it.
We're about to do that anyway, so just finish each other.
We just dump some exposition on it. We've known each other for a long time. You remember that, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly it. It's kind of like, you know, that's why I say it feels forced.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't had any kind of real history together, but now we gotta get them together quick. And it's like, well, since we know supernatural shit, I can feel you. And that's not. I was like, come on, man, that's not the right frame to be saying this shit.
I don't need this right now.
I think somebody said her father died. I remember saying that. I just know she lived with any adult. Because she driving him out to a cabin in the woods that her father owned and all this, just building shit in the garage and weird art and stuff. It was like,
Her character feels very strange. Like, they imply that, like, they've been driving to school for a long time. But there's a lot of details about her that are weird. Like, when they drop her off at one point, they show her she's going to go on a trip for 10 days to France. They drop her off, she's got a bag like this big. I was like, that's it. Tiny little
she probably had picked it up from luggage.
Yeah. Her bags probably blew up on the plane.
Yeah, she ain't got no bags no more. Yeah, bags over there, down there. I think some other problems with this, potentially, I would say it's a little heavy-handed. I think they, do a lot of things to like kind of wink at death in the beginning. Like we know this is about death and killing people, but they gotta again give a lot of foreshadowing. Even gotta say little corny lines.
Live it up, Alex. You got your whole life ahead of you.
And then he cuts in making a really dumb face.
Yeah. Again, I thought it was so after. So it's one thing for the water to follow Todd when he's about to die. Now I can get that because it can still look like an accident if you come in and see it. Now that if you haven't seen the movie, there's a little bit of story that explains why water probably shouldn't be there. But for me, the whole purpose of this movie, or the whole thing that makes this movie so different, so cool, is that it does look like, well, it's obviously supernatural stuff, but for anybody else, maybe even to yourself, it just looks like it's an everyday freak occurrence. The accident itself does not feel supernatural. That's what makes it scary. So the water trips up Todd, as you can see with his feet right here and everything. And look what happens after Todd dies. Well, my job here is done. It just creeps on back to the toilet. I think it flushes itself. I thought that was a little silly looking myself for a movie that pretty much says like anything could be a freak occurrence.
Right.
All of a sudden this water's creeping back over to the faucet.
Right. To the point of like, well, maybe it's not supernatural. Maybe these things just happen to these people.
Exactly.
And then you see this, you're like, all right.
Well, yeah, come on. Yeah, water going right back where it came from. First film.
Maybe the foundation of the house is
no, hell's rocking. Wow, did it just start leaning after you kill Todd?
Just waiting.
No. You still in that water. You gonna be hanging out in that water.
Be in that water, boy.
Y'all are. The deaths are cool, but there was one character, Sean William Scott. This is the personal thing with me. There's a couple of personal things here with me that I don't like. Might not bother anybody else. I don't like it when the death is too telegraphed. The person sits up there and the framing is still.
Yeah.
They're talking too long for some reason. You know it's about to happen. You're dead. You're dead. You're taking everyone down. So, I mean, that long pause, repeat, you're dead, monologuing too long.
Sure.
Well, there's obviously something going on in the background that's going to kill you.
Yeah, before that, they have a random shot of just this sharp piece of metal. I wonder if that's going to come into play.
Yeah, that was one where the depth was cool, but it was just kind of like, okay, now we know what's going to happen. Let's keep it, let's go ahead, let's keep this moving. Because unlike the other deaths where they set up this elaborate stuff, like you said,
just simple.
Yeah, you're right. Here's a piece of metal. We know what's going to happen.
It's a good effect, though. It looks really cool.
No, actually, I thought it was great. I'm not complaining too much. Like I said, I just wish they sped it up a little bit. I made it more surprising. Here's something that, a long time ago, this was a trope that got people. It got me the first time, and it wasn't even in a horror movie. And I don't know, maybe this was first. I don't know which one was first, but I've seen this trope that I'm about to show you. First time I saw it was in comedy. For me, it worked at one time. After that, I was like, okay, this is stupid. You can see where it's going right here in this shot.
I'm moving on, Carter. And if you want to waste your life eating shit out of Alex every time you see him, you can just drop fucking dead.
She's standing in the middle of the street so long.
Is a car gonna come along?
Oh no, Mark, you're wrong. Bus! Listen, if you can't see a big ass bus coming your way, you deserve to die.
You can hear it, if nothing else.
Yeah,
you didn't look at
like
it.
that bus jumped out from behind a bush or something.
Right. And the bus and didn't step on his brakes at all?
No, kept on going.
I got stopped to hit a run. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody out there, so why would there even be a bus?
Like, listen, look how clear this is.
Yeah.
You would hear the bus coming. People be seeing that bus like, girl, get out the street.
Yeah.
She ain't that captivating, but she's here where everybody can't see a bus coming. That bus jumped out like a tiger.
Eating shit out of Alex every time you see him. You can just drop fucking dead.
He does have a word. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that bus jumped out and mugged her or something. Come on, man. It was something that a lot of people did back in the day. Today, it's very tired.
To me, the vehicle that comes out of nowhere is so tired to me.
Yeah, because it's stupid. I mean, the first time I saw it, it was in a comedy, so that made sense.
Yeah.
I see it in other things now. I'm like, I see it in dramas.
Yeah.
I see it in things where they're taking things seriously. I'm like, man, stop this, because it makes no sense.
Especially now the whole thing is the camera's in the car on the driver, and then suddenly they pass a crosswalk and just out of nowhere the car comes in and T-modes them.
Yeah, I don't. There's no reason why somebody would step on their brakes, and if they are looking down their phone or looking down and see that something are eating, the person should at least hear the car coming. Yeah. So here's where we get into an interesting conversation, and then you guys can bring up some stuff. So, one of the biggest things the movie's known for, the great Tony Todd,
right,
the Candyman himself. So, the movie, as we said, it doesn't have an actual physical entity that's murdering people as an antagonist. He's the closest thing that we get to that here, because he's not killing people, but he's kind of like death's spokesman.
Sure.
And even though he's not killing people, man, it's scary. Just kind of the way he's just looking at you with such intensity.
The risk of achieving the plan could incite a fury that could terrorize even the great.
Shit, they ran out. Crazy. So this is not a criticism. This is more of a question for both of them. In this movie, is he a magical mystical? What the hell you think? Well, you don't get no more mystical than this right here.
Yeah.
This man is death's spokesperson. Yeah, he's magical and mystical.
Yeah.
And he's, of course,
although he doesn't, well, I was going to say he's not helping, but is he helping? He's giving them information that...
Well, no, he is helping. That's the thing. So here's the deal with magical mystical. They usually have some sort of supernatural sense to themselves, or some sort of foresight. Some other, even if it's in movies where there's no supernatural, there just seems to be this other sense about them that they know something more than the other people.
They're more in tune with common sense or old folky wisdom that complicated white people can't really figure out.
Yeah, and also he's there to help mainly the all-white cast.
Yeah, and has no life outside of serving these people.
Yeah. His ass don't go home. The only reason I bring that up is because, and again, not a complaint, it's just the way it was at the time. There are no other really black characters in there, except for your man who's very light-skinned. Maybe there's some colorism at play. Yeah. But if you notice in the movie, they have darker-skinned blacks here, and they are all in the background.
Sure.
Yeah, like there's a funeral scene here. They made sure to put them all in the background. When you sit there and say, "Goddamn well," except for this one girl, she said, "Oh, y'all gonna notice me."
As each day passes, without any turbining
Look at him, look at her looking at him.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like, I'm sure the director told her to do that because everybody's weird about him, but it looks like he said something to her earlier that she didn't like. But I think, again, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I always say this, there are certain things that you see that have gotten better today. Back then,
719.
A lot of these, in certain cities, New York was pure white, or black, depending on what demographic the movie was for. A lot of cast members were like, either they didn't have any friends of color, or they had that one token.
Yeah.
So this is just how it is. If you were a dark-skinned person, probably,
I'm surprised they had that many.
Yeah, if you weren't, unless you were in soul playing a drama or something that was oriented towards a black audience, you were a movie with all white typecast each other. That's the thing. You know, again, exceptions for that, but that's just not the time right there. It was of its time. Also,
720,
you know,
720.
if characters could be as Julian pointed this out. These are very, very sexist characters right here. I don't know if they could get away with saying some of the things that they said back then.
When did this come out?
2000.
I know they couldn't.
No.
That's all you need to know.
One character says, "Man, before I died, I knew I should have built that girl up." You can't say that shit today.
I should have thought that came in and pulled that tight.
You would not be getting away with that today, unless there was a very, very, very good reason to do it. Just joking about it.
Yeah.
Mainstream movies.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a throwaway line about molesting someone.
No, hell no. In a swimming pool. I had to laugh at one of these, a chase scene in here. So the police jump out the car to go after Alex. How does Alex get away?
Oh no! He's eventually getting away.
Hey, stop! You said, shoot him! Shoot a hole in the boat at least.
He's kind of out there now.
Why you? We'll get you yet, Alex. Dad will take care of you, son.
That was the thing that was missing the most explanation. I was like, all right, getting in a canoe like that is not easy, right? It would have been funny to see you trip into the water or something like that.
Even Dad was like, man, it's let's just skip it.
Let's see where this goes.
I'll let him reach to the end and it was.
Yeah, I was expecting on the canoe to get a close up of a bolt shaking or like a crack in the
Right.
You see Death on the side, put piranha in the water. you got a gun. Shoot a hole in the boat. Yeah, I think that's producer too. Of one of the producers of the movie right there.
Oh, really? Yeah, I see that actor and stuff all the time.
Yeah, he's married to the teacher character. I believe. Just looking up his characters, saw that was the case. I think.
And he was on Lost. I think his character was Ernst. He got blowed up.
But I did it good, by golly. Let's see here. What are you gonna say?
No, I mean, depends what you're gonna bring up.
No, it depends on what you want to bring up.
Okay, the only thing that we didn't mention, before the plane explodes, there's this really awesome shot of like this guy just hurls himself down like the aisle of the airplane, and it looked like it hurt.
Huh.
It's a great stunt. I don't know if you'll be able to find it. I didn't have a timestamp for it.
But
But the explosion of that airplane is really well done, and it's a cool sequence.
man,
As unbelievable as it is,
well,
the ripple effects of that explosion.
you know, that's one of the things that people were talking about with the movie when it came out. People were saying, "Hey, man, that movie has an amazing opening." Yeah, the beginning of the movie, you see it, you know what we're talking about. First of all, this is a ragged ass plane.
In the Southwest.
Man, you don't need no. No, this is like budget spirit.
Okay.
This plane is just as ragged as can be, man. Like you don't need no visions to know this plane's gonna go down.
Did you really think we're gonna take fucking more Greenland? You know, because of you, I gotta sit here and watch fucking Stuart Little.
You should have seen him getting on the plane. Getting on the plane, he was looking down. You could see where it was rickety and shaking.
That hurt.
You can see where the plane is falling apart before it even flies.
You need a special vision to know
So you need a vision to see.
It's like, has everybody seen this?
Yeah, your vision is your eyes. You see the shit is falling apart. But but when it goes down, man, yeah, it's a great effect. I remember people telling me about this movie years ago when it came out. Everybody was talking about the plane crash. So what's effective about this is that it makes you not want to fly.
Yeah. What's crazy about it is when we were originally going to review this, you're like, yeah, I'll watch you on the plane. I was like, all right, have a good time with that.
didn't take off yet and I was watching this, I would be like him. What are you gonna do if you do grab it? Oh, ragged ass seats. What up? Easy.
You know, if you hadn't seen this and start screaming like that, everybody who's seen the movie would have got off with you.
Yeah. And then a week later, we all I got a question for you, because I want to ask him, because you already said that you should chip in with this. Well, you know, I'll ask you first and then ask you, Mark, since you have an answer. You already gave an answer, I'll ask you. Okay. Why don't you tell him what you said? You don't think a movie like this can be made today?
No, this is pre-9/11. You know, there's no way that you could put in the marketing of your movie. Look at this airplane explode. No way.
Yeah. And that's 1 year before 9/11, is what people say in the chat. What do you think, Mark?
I don't know. I mean, we're sort of past that now. There, you know, people are willing to do, like, not airplanes crashing into buildings. I think that's never going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But just the airplane exploding.
Well, think about this. They did it, and it was cold-blooded. They did it in The Boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was cold where they did it, too. They showed you all the children.
Now would be a bad time, just because all these planes are actually crashing. Yeah. And it's got everybody nervous about flying. So, yeah, I mean, I think there was a window recently where you could have done this. Right now, not so much.
And also that scene that you're talking about, which is a good example, but that's basically evil Superman knocking a plane out of the sky.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Mark, you got anything to add? You think, because you haven't seen this in a while.
It's been a good while. It's you know, it's fun to see what's good about it and what's not so good about it. I'm looking forward to the new one just because I think, man, the core of this is so fun and smart. And it just takes somebody who's really dedicated to keeping that going. Like, I'm going to make this really good. I know it's been wrong with these other ones, and this is going to be the one. And it's right there. It can be done easily.
Yeah. If you have a director who's inspired, who really thinks about their ideas, this is like just a playground for whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vision there, right? Here it comes. Oh, shit. They tossed his old ass all around it out. Wow.
And it's cool to see how they shot that, because it is on a set, like it was a half-open airplane, and it looks real. Like there's a very realistic, ominous feeling to the whole beginning. Even though it's 25 years old, it still feels like how it does to go to the airport.
Yeah, no, this is my first time watching. Like I said, I don't really side with the critics that say that this is bad. I mean, flaws, yeah, definitely. There's certain things that they could improve on, character-wise, yeah. But I mean, it's such a clever concept that I think that it still holds up. Still on character, but it makes up for that with humor. And the cast is pretty good, even when they're not that fleshed out. So yeah, you know, if I was to rate this today, I'd give it a matinee. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I'd give it a high matinee, just because I think the ending is so fun. Like, that's where, like, the concept is really fully realized, where it is, like, something knocks this over, and then it breaks this, and then something rolls off this, and knocks something over, cuts a rope, you know?
Yeah. I'll probably try to watch part 2. I think I've seen part 2, but I don't remember. I don't remember which ones I've seen at this point. I know I watched the last one, 5, that came out. I had fun with that. So, yeah. So we'll see, man, what the new one's going to be like. I hope it's a lot of fun. I like this. What would you do? You know what you gave it at the time, or what you would give it?
I don't even remember if I liked it at the time.
Yeah. I remember it came out in 2000. We were doing Real Deal at the time. Yeah. I don't think they gave us a screening of this at the time. Nah. I remember there was some movies that we weren't getting screenings for, and I remember I think this was one of them.
Well, especially with the horror movies.
Yeah. People are saying watch 2 and 3. They're the best ones.
Yeah, so 2 is really good.
So 4 must be the one that everybody hates.
That's the NASCAR one, I think.
Okay.
That's the one that wheel went upside the girl's head.
Yeah, some people don't like the third. I think that people differentiate which ones they like, which ones they don't. But the second one is considered the best. This one, though, I'd give it a high matinee. I think it's really fun. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
No, it's fun. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Or would you look at that? You made it.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look? Would you look? Would you look at that?
I'm a foot. You put that right in front of us. Oh, broke the camera. Do you think you're running up one of these? I don't know. And yes, he does. Boy, his little ass, his little ass ran right into the camera. He ran into the barrels. You know, Marvel has come a long way throughout the years. They've been able to get back a lot of properties that they had actually sold at a flea market one time or something. So, before this present day of Marvel that we have here, for a while, your definitive Daredevil was this boy right here. He was like, why me? He's like, what kind of bender? Yeah, no, Ben Affleck. Well, he probably did. Before my man was slinging them donuts. I thought you were Batman. No. Well, that too. Before my man was Batman, before he was the donut man, he was the devil of Hell's Kitchen. Slinging that whatever thing he used. Billy Club. Billy Club. We'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah. Ben Affleck. Yeah, man. You still call him Ben Affleck? I still call him Ben Affleck. That's not gonna go anywhere. Nah, man. That's what it is. Yeah, that right there was your definitive Daredevil, and it was great because that's all you had. Some people just settled with it at the moment. It could have been worse. And it actually was.
Daredevil is responsible for this, detective. There is no proof that Daredevil even exists.
That proves nothing. And I say that this was great because some people said, listen, I know what you saw at the theater, okay? And I don't blame you for talking bad about Daredevil, but you have not seen the definitive director's cut. Now that right there, my friend, is Daredevil. You don't know until you've seen the director's true vision. Right. Yeah. And a lot of people, to this day, might not have seen that. But people, they told me, hey, look, if you want to do this roast, don't you go in there and watch that other one. You watch the true vision of what Daredevil is, the director's cut. And that's what I did. 2 hours and pretty much without credits, 2 hours and 6 minutes. Over 2 hours long.
She's hideous. Excuse me. I just wanted to get your man.
Get your ass on. We're gonna grab you. When did this movie come out? It was 2003, y'all, and it had, they tried to put everything Daredevil in there. They had the Kingpin, they had Elektra in there. So Bullseye was in there. Your boy Colin Farrell, before he was a Penguin, he was the Bullseye, the main antagonist besides Wilson Fisk, one of the other main antagonists of Daredevil in there. So listen, they tried to put as much Daredevil authenticity in there as possible. Foggy Nelson. Everything. Karen Page was even in there. So before that Netflix Daredevil, this is what you had. It had everything that Netflix Daredevil had, except they did it first. No matter who did it better, that's a whole other discussion right there. But a lot of people say, again, and I wasn't joking, a lot of people say, listen, that movie's getting it's getting a really bad rap, man, if you have not seen the director's cut. It's darker, it's a little more mature. It actually gives you more Matt Murdock, which defines the character a little bit more. So you get some deleted court scenes in there. So I'm telling you something, man. I watched this director's cut right here. Like I said, over 2 hours. And for those people who said it made a difference, that it made an improvement, was it? Well, we'll examine that Because, you know, we've been known to have a roast, but also going to acknowledge the good things about something. Come back and say, hey, you know what? Wasn't that bad? Y'all all right. You know, we were different people at the time. We didn't see the proper cut or whatever. So I'll tell you this. There are some good things in here. I know a lot of people, they are jumping on Ben Affleck for this role that he took as Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil, but I actually like him in the movie as Matt Murdock.
Yeah, no, I think he works. Plus, he was a fan of the comic book going into it, and the relationship between him and Foggy, they got a good banter going on.
Man, listen, they are so natural together. You can tell that Ben Affleck is actually laughing at some of the things that I'm sure John Favreau is Foggy Nelson that he's improvising.
Okay, all I'm saying is, seeing eye dogs bond for life. Yours ran away. What does that tell you about how emotionally available you are?
You know, man, yeah, no, that's funny. They have a few scenes where they're just, you know, they're just riffing with each other, and they got a natural chemistry together, man. They're actually really good. You know, in an origin story, what they're doing here would usually be nothing special, man. You got to say at the beginning, like I said, it's nothing special. What ain't anything too good, but all right, whatever. It's average. You know, he's a little boy, Matt Murdock, going to the neighborhood, and of course you got, you know, the neighborhood bullies.
Movie bullies.
Yeah, and they always come in a package of 3. Yeah. They always got that. They always got one leader while the 2 in the back talking and talking that shit. Really always talking about kick his ass, kick his ass, man. Yeah. What is interesting to see is just how much of a bitch Matt Murdock was before his powers.
Yeah, Mom. Hit me. He's a punk, man.
Shit, I'm out here. He didn't even turn around. He was like, thank you for the move. Shit, I'm out. He used that momentum to get pushed. Boy, he got pushed and said, that's enough for me.
It's 3-on-1.
Shit.
There was no coming out of that game.
I won't be giving y'all no more trouble. Hell no. Shit, he's like, you got me in business. I can see you. He went to the hole and gave me that. He didn't get pushed to go, hey, and never he went, yeah. Like, he already had that move. Yeah. It's like, man, look, he already had this game. Because listen, the hero, even in the origin story, when they get in the ass whooped, they at least show some courage or some spine.
You think about Captain America?
I'm Captain America. Shit, I'm thinking about all these people. Like, shit, yeah, I mean, everybody, at least they try to show that, before they became a hero, they did have some hero in them. Not this bitch. I'm out of here. Shit, he might as well been the Flash. Listen, he also has an excuse. What's the excuse to say he's a bitch? But the other thing is that if you really press him, you'll be like, well, my daddy told me not to fight. That's what he's been told by his has-been boxer dad.
Okay. And what's that?
Nothing. I told you I didn't want you fighting.
Smack.
Oh, don't worry, Dad. I made you proud today. Fighting is what I did not do. I did exactly what you said, Father. You would have been so proud of me today. I turned around and ran my ass. He's one of them drunk ass daddies like, well, you ran like a bitch. You damn if you don't. But no, his dad really didn't want him to fight, because that's a big thing that comes in, right? Because all this stuff, like I said, it's typical origin story stuff. Because his dad, he's the typical superhero inspirational figure. He's the Uncle Ben here. There's rumors about him working for the local gangster. He says it's not true, but he still makes sure to get that be better than your old man speech.
You think I'd be pulling double overtime down at the docks when I was working for Fallon? You don't hit nothing but books, get me? You'll be a doctor and a lawyer.
That's great, too. Lawyer Murdoch. I like the sound of that. Dr. Murdoch. Matt Murdoch, Esquire.
Attorney at law.
That's all right, too. I like the sound of that. Now we get to the real cliches, because he makes the promise to his dad. Yes, Father, I will be a doctor or a lawyer more than likely one day, and he makes that promise while You know, they do this a lot in movies. He makes that promise while looking up at the full moon.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've heard.
You know, because by the way, the moon is always full in the movies. That shit ain't never
In New York City.
Yeah, actually, he up there looking like damn Five-O from American somewhere out there. Shut the fuck! Shut up! Go ahead! Is that Murdoch boy here? Shut up!
Hell's Kitchen. You get his ass with the kid on that.
He looked at the moon talking about, I promise, Father.
Promised it.
Now, if you know the story of Matt Murdock and how he got his powers, then you know where this is going. But if you don't, the movie will make you sure good goddamn well that you know what's gonna happen. Yeah, because when we leave out that moon, we transition from that big ass moon that like it's about to eat New York. Yeah. We transition out of this moon to what do you think we're gonna do with this?
Charlie, should we be moving this in the middle of the city?
They put this right in your face.
Right.
So I feel like it's in my eyes right now. Damn.
So much that the moon transitions into it.
Yeah.
Like fades into it.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
yeah, exactly. So Matt, of course, finds out, young Matt, he finds out that his dad was lying the whole time. His ass working for gangsters. So he sees his dad, of course, he does that movie thing of like, you know, and he takes off running into traffic. And then when he takes off running, well, the movie says, hey, I don't think y'all remember. Let me show y'all again. I'm a foot. Put that right in front of us. Oh, broke the camera.
do you think you'll run into one of these? I don't know.
And yes, he does. Boy, his little legs ran right into the camera. Ran into the barrels. I didn't know that the hazardous waste also gave his ass bat sonar.
When vacation calls, emergency supports your immune system with so much more than vitamin C. Be ready to dive in with Emergency. And for on-the-go immune support, try Emergency Crystals. No water needed.
Most wax deodorants, stage your clothes. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant goes on clear. Gillette, the choice is clear.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
The one thing we work on the most here at Richard's on is how the customer's treated. And what that means to us is speed and efficiency online.
Yeah, like all the feedback turned into gave him bad senses to this makes no sense. Makes no sense.
You never read Daredevil?
I guess I haven't read his origin, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
I've read some Daredevil, but I've never.
All this is comic accurate.
But see, that's the thing. And see, that I want to address that because yes, no, you're right. This is comic accurate.
I mean, mostly.
Well, I'm gonna get into why being comic accurate is probably not working here. So everything's cool with his dad. His dad is feeling bad, but somehow inspired by his blindness.
Yeah.
He's like, well, shit, this kid's if he can get through this, and I can
get my career.
I can get my boxing career back up. So actually, this is
I'm only 42.
Yeah. Oh, I still got it. But this is a good time for a training montage. Dad trained to box again, and Matt trained to be blind. I guess I don't know. And
trained to be blind.
And
deal with his sense. Yeah. To deal with his extra sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Control.
That's training. And it's also it's a perfect time because we come from that age. This movie's coming from the age of the soundtrack. So this is a perfect time to sell that early 2000 soundtrack.
Just stick up for the long shots like us.
Hey, mother! You see me? You almost hit me!
You made each other pop sticker for lost like a
Dad would have
You right. Stop right here. Oh, hey, so I'm sorry. I was getting a hot dog. I'm all right, me.
Why are you in the gym? Who's watching your blind son?
Nobody. Shit, Dad more blind than he is.
I know.
Oh, yeah, where is he?
What are you talking about?
He'll be all right. He was just there a minute ago.
With the long shots.
He's got one of those blind sticks. He'll be all right. Max powers start to kick in. And this is what I mean by sometimes comic accurate doesn't work depending on how you do it. Because sometimes it's just kind of better to show the powers kicking in than to tell you about the whole process.
Oh, because it's cheaper than filming it all.
It sure is, but god damn. So, listen, if you want those little 60s cartoons or Saturday morning cartoon or, kids cartoon, yeah, that narration, that corny stuff is good.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to be edgy here, it ain't working, man. It sounds sillier when you hear his powers being described out loud.
But most amazing of all, my sense of sound gave off a kind of radar sense.
Which actually means it gave him the power to speed up the film. Sometimes it's satisfying to see his powers because you know who is back. And the same formation. Like this dude is always on, cornrows is always on the right, Fatso's on the left right here, my man's front and center.
The triangle.
Yeah, exactly. They don't go anywhere without this formation right here.
That's flank me, don't forget.
Yeah, so they come up here,
And now that you're blind, this is really going
boy,
to be fun.
and it's worse. That's the thing. It's worse because now he's handicapped. And you think they'd be like, oh man, we can't do this. Right. Shit.
What's up, Freak? Look at him, man. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, it just gives him more ammunition. Look at his eyes. Look.
You guys were beat up before when I could see.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do this?
Because it's easier now.
Kick his ass, man.
There you go, nigga. I always got that one. Kick his ass. The one.
Hey, why don't you get over there and kick his ass?
The one who kicks the least ass and yells the most. Kick his ass, man, because I'm not here. Boy, and what makes it fun, he pimps whips those bullets. He goes in on this dude's face right here. Reaction. He's like, where's my money? Yeah.
I'm going to keep hitting you as long as you just go stand there. Let me do
I
it.
ain't carving C in your head. Now, you think like they don't be on the ground like, oh, shit, they ain't moving.
Oh, shit. Get out of here.
Hands on your head while you're working.
Them kids, they broke their necks, busted the back of their head. They ain't moving at all.
Feet to the side like that.
Feet laid horizontal.
Or they're just scared to move. It's like, as long as we stay down here.
Okay, I think one is dead. The other two are just kind of like that. I ain't getting up. So then we get to the Uncle Ben moment. Because, like I tell you, my man, Pops, he was working for a gangster, Hector, from Salamanca. What's that actor's name?
Mark Margolis.
Yeah, he died in 2023. Yeah, Mark Margolis. Yeah, you're right. Yes, his name. Yeah.
He's always looked at that age. You look at shit from 30 years ago, he looks exactly like that.
When that head popped out the vagina, it looked like that.
Just like that.
The doctor's like, shit. Benjamin Buttons. I think you got Benjamin Buttons that just stayed in one place. Like Benjamin Buttons actually turned young. He never did.
It's funny, he's played like every ethnicity too.
Oh, I know.
He really had a Jewish guy, but he played like every single ethnicity.
Right. It's like F. Elizondo.
Yeah. He told his dad, all right, to fight, you've seen every gangster movie. All right, tonight, you take a dive.
They're all my fighters. Just like you. Now it's your turn to take a fall.
What the hell I will? So you know that as they say in Pulp Fiction, that pride start.
Oh, yeah. I do like though that he told him, like, all the fights you've been winning, you didn't think you really won those, did you?
Yeah.
You older than him. I know you were shaving all, but come on, man.
So that information killed him. because of course now that he got insulted and told him, you know, yeah, you ain't a winner. It was all a setup. You were always a loser. Now he got something to prove. You know? All right. Okay, you want to go around, all right?
Don't be mad. You the one who set this up.
Plus, he don't want like he don't like a punk in front of his son. So there's a part where you see a big body loom over him, and we already know who that is.
Guess the drinks I tip you. That's Sonic.
Sprite with extra Sonic Ice. Sonic Ice is good, but it ain't that damn good to get extra on that shit. You basically got a fucking small Sprite.
Find exactly what you're looking for.
That's why I always ask for light ice. Real talk.
For Chevy, this isn't just a race. It's science at over 200 miles an hour. It's physics and engineering. Innovating.
When I ask for light ice, I mean like a quarter of the cup ice.
I did an actual boat.
Not 50, not 75.
Oh,
Whose big ass legs could those be? Right here, bitch. Oh, shit, yeah. God damn. Actually, like, I was like, hey, man, hey. So now, he got his dad has been murdered by somebody. And by the way, again, at least foreshadow because there's a rose left on him. Yeah, now this is at the I will avenge thee father moment right here. Let's see here. Oh shit. Yeah, you see right here, they left a rose and he's squeezing it to get blood out of his hand. Yeah, so now, you know, like I said, this is the I will avenge you, father.
I would keep my promise. I would seek justice.
So that's how we got old Daredevil right here. And avenging must pay well because he's got a lot of cool stuff as an adult now. You got
insurance.
Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's a thing that makes sense.
I mean, it must because he's got a lot of cool stuff, man. Like
yeah, he does.
Like he got a cool Dracula coffin that he sleeps in, self-automated. Dracula like, shit, I know.
Wait.
Down. There's no more left. Yeah, he has to sleep in a water chamber.
Yeah, sensory deprivation. Right?
Yeah.
But man, if the gears ever got stuck on that thing.
You better hope somebody, when he's late for work one day, Molly come find his ex. And they don't make no money. So you don't make no money, man. They do everything pro bono.
Maybe there was a time when they did make money before they started their own firm.
Maybe they had.
Maybe they worked at some other firms and said like, hey, we can do our own thing.
They had one big client.
Yeah.
They had like a multi-million-dollar client.
Big ass client.
A big ass client. Because they talk about, I don't know if this is the right part I'm stopping at, but they talk about how they don't ever make any money.
Your client, Mr. Lee, he made his first payment.
Well, that's great. You should be very happy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He paid in fluke. Fluke is a fish, Matt. Did you know that? Because I sure as hell didn't.
That's what I'm do that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. They get paid in fish.
Yeah. And chicken sometimes.
Yeah. And you go to the office, you can see when people gave them free shit. Yeah, they make it sound like they haven't had a paying client in years. This man got an apartment that looks like Professor Xavier's lair and shit.
Right.
You know, also, you know, and the thing is, with that nice apartment, he know he has a nice apartment because I know he got a different woman in there every week. You could tell by the voicemails that he would get.
Matt, it's Heather. Are you there? Of course you're not there. You're never there. It's not like you've given me any choice.
He's like, I don't care. I got another one lined up for next week.
And Heather is a girlfriend Harney broke up with in the comics.
Yeah.
She was like the girlfriend that nobody liked.
Yeah, he don't even like her.
Yeah.
He's all like, he don't care.
And I mean, I know it's just a bit part, but this girl's reading is awful.
Oh no, it's terrible. It sounds like a girl who wanted to tell the guy she's dating off, so she wrote all of it down.
Right. You know what?
I'm gonna tell him, so she wrote all that shit down and think you doing something.
I mean, it's 3 months now, and I've never even seen her apartment. Every time we see together,
Jesus, I wish this bitch would just shut up.
She's making me actually physically listen to her.
Just again?
God damn, I wish this bitch be quiet.
Shit, yes, 3 months and not seeing my phone.
It's the third time she broke up with me this month.
Every time, look, bitch, I don't like you no more. He's like,
Okay,
God
man.
damn.
I guess we could work on it.
Damn, you make me wish I was deaf too. This bitch been on for 3 minutes. She's still going. God damn. I can't get in that echo chamber soon enough.
And I'll sit there.
And another thing. Right. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You ain't shit.
And this is the last decision I'm going to say.
I forgot. By the way, you see my earrings? I think I left them over there. You never see my apartment, bitch. That's right. Oh, you are there.
Well, these villains are silly. Villains, you talking about some cartoons. These villains are straight up cartoons, but they got mad defending a rape victim. And the dude who did it, he lied. The court got pictures and evidence of her getting beat down.
She asked me if I want to stick around.
And let me see,
he's defending.
He's defending the victim. But this is the guy who did it right here.
No, you would prosecute them.
He's prosecuting.
Yeah, you wouldn't defend the victim.
Which doesn't make any sense because he's not a prosecutor.
Yeah, he's a defense attorney.
Then what's he doing?
That makes sense.
The movie, the whole thing is about him.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
This doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Unless he was a prosecutor, he would not be there.
He wouldn't be there at all.
Well, why do we have this scene later on in the movie where
I don't know, man.
Because if anything, he would be defending the rapist.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He was defending the rapist, right?
No.
He's not.
He's not.
What?
He's not. He's trying to prosecute the rapist, but he's not a prosecutor.
Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know.
None of this is legal accurate.
All right. Well, maybe
he's talking like the victim. He's representing her, but that's not the prosecutor would represent her.
Well, maybe he's representing the rapist, but he botches he lets him off so he can kill him. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, I don't know.
Is he defending the rapist and then he botches him?
I guess he is trying to prosecute, but the thing is, he goes up.
Okay, we'll see.
The funny thing with this is that the guy's obviously guilty.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's like I said, there's evidence. You know, pictures of this woman beaten. And then he also uses his daredevil powers to know that the guy's lying.
She asked me if I wanted to stick around for some fun. Anything that happened after that was entirely consensual.
Okay, so listen, you would think that with the evidence of those pictures alone, that would be pretty damning. But then this fool comes up and says the most villainous shit I've ever heard anybody say in a courtroom.
The truth is, I enjoy every minute of it.
That alone would get your ass convicted by the jury.
Yes, but the implication is that the kingpin has bought the judge.
Okay.
He's paying for this guy's defense, and he's bought the judge.
Oh, so now he can go in there and be as villainous as he likes.
So he did. God damn it! Why is he prosecuting?
I don't even worry about it. So that's why he can go in there and be as villainous as he wants to, because the funny thing is, he's such a villain that even when he leaves, man, he goes out in front of the court, in front of everybody, make sure that he knows everybody sees his villainous laugh. Before he gets in. He makes sure everybody sees just how much of a villain he is with his villainous laugh before he gets in the car. So that brings us to our first Daredevil action moment. Oh yeah. He was like, nah, you know, justice must be served. Yeah, this will not stand. Now we're Daredevil's on the watch. And so how does it start? A montage, of course. And these montages get funnier and goofier when we get to this movie, man. These shots that start these montages get goofier.
That is a video game.
And the editing is terrible. Watch this. They cut mid-sentence. Watch this. Yeah. Oh. Now I want y'all to notice something at the end of this montage. It reminds me of another movie, actually. Justice gets my dick hard. Oh, ready? I'm ready. He tried to score for all this. Oh, shit. I'm so hard right now. I'm serving justice. That makes me hard. I'm hard. This fool, he's ready to rip again immediately.
Line him up, Joseph. I'm ready to hard tonight.
Man, he's like, God damn it, just got back. You should have wanted to take a night off. Go. I was mad. Yeah, I was mad. I want some non-consensual. This girl's ready to go.
She was flirting with you? I want that.
I want that shit. No, I want they fight back.
Yeah, I want the girl that spits in my face.
This man just got out and ready to rip again. Boy, I mean, and look what he did, yo. I'm party tonight. Nah, man.
Yeah, right.
Party tonight. Yeah, remember that damn creep ass right here. You gotta fire this guy. She's like, ugh. I know. Oh yeah. Most heroes, now they would have waited for the man to leave the bar and catch his ass in the alley somewhere and then beat the shit out of him. Not Daredevil.
I don't like anybody in here.
No, Daredevil said, I want everybody to see this ass whooping. And by the way, once he said that, I want to whoop all y'all's asses too.
What do you want? Justice.
Shut the that fucking hurt, man. Well, I want justice to start with popping your goddamn mouth. Nobody I asked the question right here.
Justice.
Shut your goddamn word. Hey, you have something to say too. In fact, you know what? Everybody get their ass with tonight. So now, look, it's a cool fight scene, but after he beats up the whole goddamn bar, the entire bar, like he beats up the whole bar. Hey, everybody laid out. Shit, the bartender didn't even do shit. She laid out behind the bar. Knocked her ass out. He was just on frenzy. Everybody laid out. Shit, he set the ball on fire. And that's the thing.
Myers handy.
Yeah, get up. One of the things I noticed about this is that, I mean, you're right. Some of this stuff is Batman and other things, but man, this part right here, the way the movies get dark, the way he's being like this ruthless vigilante, it feels like The Crow, because like that fight scene in the bar, the way it's flickering and everything, kind of feels like The Crow.
I thought that was Daredevil.
That's the Crow.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, Jennifer Garner's Electra, they're good together. You can see how they hooked up after this. But the Matt Murdock Electra relationship is weird, mainly because of Matt Murdock. Cause it starts out cute. Cause you can tell Matt has had plenty of practice. He's supposed to be using his handicap.
Oh yeah.
He's been using that well. Yeah, man. He's using that like a damn tag on a car, man. Except he tagging ass.
Yeah, exactly. I do with a little chihuahua.
Hey, listen, man.
Yeah, you use what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm using it as a stick. So I'm staying hot dog right here. And as you can see, she sees everything. Yeah, this fool uses that handicap to get ass every week.
I was just looking for some honey. Could you help me out?
Right in front of you.
Could you be a little bit more specific?
What are you?
Blind? Yeah.
Get some every time.
Yeah. You walk right in.
Well, they just be,
Oh, I have to talk to him now.
yeah. They just be guilty. Matt is persistent, and this is where it gets creepy, because then he starts stalking her. Like he literally sniffs her out.
What do you want?
Yes.
I want that ass, and I'm just playing that ass. What do you think I want?
That's funny.
That's what your ass 2 blocks there. What you think? I just Thursday ass. So he's stalking her, and then he gets grabby.
I don't like being followed. So don't.
Wait a minute. Wait a second.
Where you going? Don't walk away. You made me walk 2 blocks down. You better come in. Now, had this been some chubby dude or average looking dude, even if he did have daredevil powers, right now she would have been the scream police. I tried to mace him.
She would have been within her rights to do that.
She would have been with her. No, I ain't saying she wasn't. But the thing is, Matt is handsome.
Right. Yeah.
He's handsome. He's tall. And this is a movie, so.
Sure, blind.
Sure you don't want to tell me your name?
So now they look for any excuse to start putting their hands on each other. So now they're just gonna fight.
Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No, it does not. And what I love is the only thing that makes sense is this little girl back here. She's like, no, I ain't need 2 grown ass white people, crazy ass white people about to start fighting. She's like, I'm minding my own business. I'm not in the middle of this. In the middle of a playground with kids. Hell no. I'm not. I ain't looking at this shit at all. Yeah. They're about to start fighting these tight jeans and this baggy suits. It's just a bag. That's a match. You sure you're blind? You see this suit? You know I am. You think I got dressed like this? You look, you an handsome guy. This really working. These 2 grown ass people here start fighting on a playground in front of these kids. It's like they're prison or something. But God walked by like, woman, are you beating up this blind dude? He started but he grabbed me and get over here. You know, instead he was sexual harassment. So you get tased. I don't know what you mean. All of a sudden, man just let him beat him up. Oh, Mr. She grabbed my dick.
I only asked for directions.
I think Electra is like more skilled than he is, right?
In the comics, yes.
Yeah, she is.
Well, shit,
I remember that.
Yeah, in this movie she is too, because she beats his ass. Oh, shit! God damn! You know you let her win. Oh, yeah. The thing is, he likes to rough anyway.
Yeah.
Shit, look at how he looks. He's aroused.
My name's Electromachios.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the foot away.
Yeah. It works every time.
I can still smell your
Hey, yeah, like I said, it did work for him, man.
I'll find you.
You got that right, you there. Yeah, man, listen, it's ridiculous scene. Because I know.
Makes no sense.
No, them fight. Well, I've been watching the movie. Them fight on the playground. Two damn adults fight on the kids' playground. Kids watching like this is stupid.
Yeah, it's playful in a silly way that doesn't really work, but you know you get the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, you're not blind. That's it. There's no way you did all this shit. You blind. See, that's why I can't stand it. Like you
Yeah, so
that's why.
so this is just a meet cute that they have where they beat the shit out of each other.
I hate this scene. It's stupid.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's stupid. No, I think it's dumb.
I think if you're watching a movie and you're just kind of going with it, this is the scene that will possibly break you.
Yeah.
Or you know, whatever positive feelings you have about the movie up to this point, you start to go, oh,
Yeah.
this is what this is.
But thing is, you know, he got her good now. So, and the thing is, like I said, man, you know, he's handsome. And so because she knows he's running game. Because he takes her to a rooftop. But she knows that he's running game.
She calls him on it.
Yeah, she calls him on it. She calls him on it, and she's still into it.
Exactly how many women can you throw in there?
Be my first.
You goddamn lie.
This week.
Yeah, you lie. Yeah, she got a good answer. Yeah, you know it's a lie, too.
Yeah.
You know it's a good lie. And you know what, I always thought that, but I did always think that this was a cool scene. The ring scene, when he sees her face. I did genuinely think that was a good idea.
You are so beautiful.
How is it all the rain is hitting her face and none of it's hitting his?
He hit his face. Oh,
No, he got some drops.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's only on her side of the street, man. Her side. Yeah.
On the rooftop. Yeah.
You are so beautiful.
So the editing in this, man, y'all saw the editing earlier, but they just cut mid-sentence and it didn't work. Man, the editing in this movie is weird. Because for what they do these transitions several times where it's just crazy cuts. A sped up transition with a crazy cut.
For real. It didn't even just from here to there. It was going here and veered over to the side.
I was sorry. What do you want?
Yeah, and they cut to something slow like that. Yeah. You know, they're like, really, they usually be sitting there and just, things would be calm, things would be cool, and then...
This is what I'm talking about.
You just show the building.
813, 813, 813, 813.
I'm just saying, like I say, it catches you off guard every time. It's like, good, okay, they're not doing it here. That's cool.
That was the worst one.
So where did the start that kind of cool?
Yeah. And then by spinning the shit.
They like, they fooled you. Like, okay, shit, all right, fine. Y'all set y'all asses down. The costume stuff seems like, I'm talking about the courtroom stuff seems like it's forced into the movie. Because, you know, that's one of the things that they put in later. All the courtroom scenes. I guess it was to show, you know, because I don't know, was that a complaint before that they didn't see him being a lawyer enough or something?
I don't know. Unless it was one of these things where it's like, well, we don't see enough separating him from Spider-Man. And
Yeah.
like, let's get that image.
So they want to show maybe his alter ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's a lawyer, so I guess they need to show some lawyer stuff. Yeah. So as I told you earlier, you know, Coolio, got his name in the movie, but he's on trial for murder. But
So, are you? Yes.
yeah,
I believe you.
so his you know, heartbeat says that he's innocent and everything. But you know, Coolio is funny in the movie. I don't know when the last time you saw it. You know, like Coolio's, I mean, listen, you know, how good an actor he is, I don't know, but is he natural? Yeah, he's very natural in front of the camera. Like he's got good comedy timing.
That's right. I went to meet Turk because he owed me some money.
It was there that you passed out from drinking. Is that correct?
I was smoking weed mostly.
This back when smoking weed was a big deal.
Right. The judge is like, bro.
Yeah, my people. You part of the problem. Like, I wanted to put another brother back in the system, but if you ain't gonna help yourself, shit, talking that crazy shit. You could have one more judge just being stupid. You could have one more goddamn time. So Kudo's funny, but I don't think that the courtroom stuff flows well with the rest of the movie.
You can see why it was taken out.
Yeah, like it either needs more time, needs to be written better. It's so rushed through the movie. You know, because they never give a good argument. I mean, we know that since Matt Murdock has defended Coolio's character that he's gonna get out. But the thing is, they never really give a good argument in the movie, explaining why Coolio got off. You know, it just at one moment he's just getting out.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. I appreciate it.
Sure.
All right. All right. All right. That was very funny.
No, that's funny. Like I said, Coolio was funny. It's just, I don't know how it is. It just doesn't feel like it's fleshed out very well.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you don't ever get, because in order for a guy to be proved innocent of the murder he's being accused for, because he's being accused of killing a prostitute or something, I think. And then that's how it's connected to Kingpin. There's crooked cops and all this kind of stuff, but they don't get a big explanation. You know, you never have the courtroom testimony or anything like that.
Well, to be fair, this is a movie where just an hour ago he was prosecuting somebody.
Exactly.
I bet.
That's why none of this shit works.
And then in Thomas, he's a defense attorney. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's never a prosecutor.
No.
So, speaking of the Kingpin being involved, the Michael Clark Duncan as a Kingpin, man. Listen, I want you to notice something. When they race swapped his character, notice that back in the day when they race swapped the villain to be a black man, nobody said a word.
They praised it.
Well,
Yeah.
No, according to the director, he caught flack for it.
Did he?
Yeah.
But most people raised hell like they did today.
No, not like today.
Plus he's a bad guy.
But plus at the time, they were like, well, who else is gonna play?
Man, Michael Clark Duncan, that's the thing. Like he's the perfect size, and Michael Clark Duncan is scary in here. And because he's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's out of his goddamn mind. And
he got bigger for this too.
Yeah. And you believe that Michael Clark Duncan can actually. Yeah, you believe that he can do this. Like pick up somebody and snap their neck. Like he's not acting. He's not acting. You said somebody else cut it. God damn it, help me. Get this big back. I mean, give the green ball. Oh, shit, he got so crazy, he scared his next meeting away.
Your 11 o'clock is here.
Oh, he's not. Not this big. No, hell no.
I'll get the money from somewhere else.
Bullseye. Oh no, they had some bullshit. Colin Farrell. Yeah. Colin Farrell is an amazing actor, but they got his ass just being too crazy here in this movie. Just too crazy.
This is when he was in his Farrell-less, when he was just the movie star,
Oh, yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, it was shit, man, that money, let me go and buckle down. It's real shit.
Colin Farrell lost his goddamn mind. He's overdoing it on everything. From the first moment we see him, from the first moment we see him, he's just putting on a coat. Oh no, he just don't put on a coat. He said, "Say that shit." Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
You can't just say he's Irish. He's in Ireland. I think I've been saying House of Pain.
The first line, I'm Irish, but I'm not a leprechaun.
Right. That's the same name from Ireland.
That song is all about Ireland.
Yeah, it's about Ireland. Some of them are, I think, Irish.
I doubt that he playing it.
But it's the first movie where he used his actual accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Boy, that fool, yeah. He's everything. Everything he got a showboat.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
He's crazy though, right?
Also, he has they just make him do weird things. Like he's got a weird paperclip fetish. If he just carries paper clips with him, you know what I mean? If he's not killing somebody with them, which I don't think that would actually kill somebody.
Yeah, that's just acupuncture.
That's acupuncture right there. That would kill nobody.
Oh man, that really cleared up my throat.
Thank you. Yeah, he was talking like this before. Now he's like, thank you very much. Mr. Bullseye.
This is like bullseye, right?
Yeah, that's his thing. He never
someone else beside is gonna be like, bam! You bullseye that shit.
But if he's not killing people with him, then he's just sucking on them. Look, man, ain't that weird shit already? Look, what you trying to insinuate?
You know better than that.
Also, you just spit that shit out.
Yeah.
Man, you ain't get on this plane.
I don't know what kind of freaky shit you trying to insinuate, but I ain't into that, bro.
That's the airport.
Yeah, that's the airport. Yeah,
the guy on that plane. Is that right?
They would have you get your ass in the back.
Yeah, that's right.
Spit there, spit it. Weird.
It's the cavity search.
See how many paper clips you got in your ass?
Oh my
Bullseye that shit.
Boy, got a whole bunch of them.
You just don't know. Shit, you on bullseye. I'm not into this shit, man. Get your ass you know better than that. That's your childish. Stop it. So everything he does, he just showboating. Just taking the escalator. Ain't nobody paying attention to you, man. Ain't nobody you're here.
If he said they are.
Just hit the airport. Beep, beep, beep. You a red flag the whole time. Everybody's looking at it like you did that shit in Vegas or something.
Tell me something. Bullseye, you spitting paper clips on people going up the escalator all weird. They're gonna be like, we're gonna think you on some shit. Right. Yeah, come on here, son. Come on.
You can't get on it. I ain't sitting on the plane with him.
To hell with cabbage test. We're gonna take a drug test real quick. Now in a movie, you don't kill a dog. Yeah, some people be mad if you can kill a rat. Old lady though?
She couldn't use him because of something. So I said,
the woman was talking too much, so
yeah.
Killed her with peanut. Yeah, she's talking way too much. So and see, that's the thing. Now they could have just left it there, but this is how much they have to overdo with him. He has to sit there and watch her die and look like he just orgasmed while he's watching her. Old ass.
Like he's sucking at her death rattle.
Yeah. But you know what I did like about that scene kind of at the beginning was like she's talking and he starts panicking like I gotta stop this. I can't listen to it anymore. You know,
listen, man.
That's why like freaking out for you.
Hey man, let me tell you something.
And it's something we can all identify.
Yeah, listen. It's horrible what he did, but shit, I would have done the same thing if I had that power. She talking too goddamn much.
it's my son Larry's story about his first marriage. She eloped with this semi-colored fella.
Oh, colored? Oh, now you know she gotta go.
Yeah.
Colored. Mulatto says next. Oh, your old ass gotta go.
Look, the Kingpin sent me coach.
No, you too.
Man, you got money.
Get me bullseye. Kobe, right? That's how he got money.
He had to be the kingpin by just spitting
Exactly.
first class. Have you seen the price of first class?
You know, Christ coming in.
I might do economy plus, but
yeah. So he brings he brings others down in the movie because he's not a good character, man. You know, because for one, he's so badly written. I imagine that he's called Bullseye because he just says obvious shit. Bullseye, yeah, well, I got you. Wow, okay. Yeah, he kills Electra's dad in the movie. It's a perfect kill. You know, we could have stopped there, but no, that's not enough. Yeah, we know it's in your name. Like it's not enough for him to just say it. Now you got to point at his head too. You see, like this, bullseye. Like think of like, yeah, we know, man, we get it. You know, like your forehead. Yeah, thank you. Stupid ass.
Bullseye. You see, like this. Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Goofy ass.
Follow me on Instagram.
Hashtag Instagram.
She's like, oh no, you killed my South Asian father.
This brings us to our climax, y'all. We're almost out of here. So, of course, Elektra thinks that Daredevil did this because Daredevil, yeah,
even though she could clearly see that he was the one who threw that.
Right. He tried to catch it.
Yeah. So now the show called you the last one to pass. So it's on you.
And then right there, you trusted her. You got the call. You the last one to pass. It's on you. But he's through now.
So now she's mad that she's mad at him. So now she goes on to train to this hot topic montage right here. Now the floor is just full of sand.
Right. All this goddamn sand.
Yeah, it's like you couldn't have found a dojo or a gym to go to.
No, I'm gonna mess up this dining room.
How long was she mad? Was she like hanging all these things?
The butler comes in. Oh no, you're not gonna do that here, are you?
I'm not again. No.
Shut up.
You like, God damn, I just.
What? I was never sick, girl. You was sick. Oh. No, you the sick one over there, girl. Yeah, it wasn't me. Okay, good for you.
She's so mad at Daredevil that she got terrible drawings of him on his fucking bags.
So I know this was your face.
Take that, Daredevil.
They don't even look like you, right? So they fight, you know, again, because it's kind of sexy when they do. Like I can tell he's pulling back.
Yeah.
You gonna regret that shit. That's right before she drove in the jacket. Yeah, she thought she got him good, and then she pulls that mask off. Oops. She's like, but no one in this house would ever kill my dad. I know. She's like, yeah, why'd you kill my dad?
Playing me this whole time.
Well, he didn't kill the dad, but we all know who would.
The magic.
Bullseye, who's doing magic tricks. Right. Which is cool because he throws the cards.
Yeah, and this whole scene is taken directly from the comic.
Nice. God damn! Whoa! Shit, I thought you were gonna try to tell me to guess which card. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, guess which card. Slit your goddamn throat. Jesus. No bitches. And he kills it. Is he the one that kills Electra in the comics?
Yeah, it's just like that. First with the card, and then he comes over and takes her side and runs her through.
She's like, shit, this hurts.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Where Jim was like, you see how I feel?
Yeah.
Also, if you hadn't stabbed me, I could have helped you out.
Yeah.
You blinked yourself. I kept trying to tell you, but that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Of course, Daredevil and Bullseye got to fight. You know, This is the enemy right there. And this is the reason they fight too. He really wants Daredevil because his feelings all hurt because he made him miss. You just did it. Yeah, but
Children.
Yeah,
that's right. You're a crazy person.
Yeah.